Weet ook, wil ze weer precies het vakantie nou, maar vanaf naar Alright, welcome to Previously Recorded. I am your host, RP. As always, in this episode of Previously Recorded is brought to you by Surfer Boy Pizza. If you need a pizza and you don't have one, call the Pizza Kings.
They'll get it done.
Alright. Alright, so to help me with today's episode, I have my co-hosts, Shane and Bob. As always, what's up, guys? How are you?
It's an honor to be in the presence of the Pizza King.
Pizza King in the Northeast. Took a trip to the West Coast this week. For Stranger Things, I don't know.
No, you didn't. I was so confused just now.
I have a
was at
trip.
your house last
Sorry, I'm a
week?
little delirious. My tummy is on fire.
Bad
we
Chipotle
had a
experience.
very terrible.
Chipotle worker really sabotaged the pod.
So I said a little bit of the hot sauce, and she lathered that bitch up.
I had to do double sour cream to kind of counteract, and then
Bob's
the
burrito. fell
burrito was
apart.
wrapped like awfully, and it ripped, so I had to eat it sideways.
Can we talk about the absolute fucking savage that was in line in front of us?
Yeah.
That got double everything on a double burrito and fucking finished it.
Dude,
And
it was
they wrapped
insane.
it though. I was more impressed with the
They
worker
did.
that got that wrapped. It was
I
the
couldn't
Bo,
believe it.
It was the Bo Burnham song where he's like, "It's your job to tell me."
I think I might be the only person who didn't watch that special.
It's
His
from
new
Happy.
one, right?
It's from Make
It's
Happy.
the
It's the
second
old one.
special.
It's before COVID.
Oh, I watched like the first one. Like I'm a OG
I think
Burnham guy.
it's
Like smart, like
OG.
new
Well,
math.
Well, technically, OG Bo
Yeah.
Burnham is like him in his room on YouTube.
Yeah.
I just remember like
Fucking pervert. He was like 16.
make an incision with long division.
Yeah,
take
that's-
the circumference.
that was when he was,
of
like, in high school.
circumci- Yeah, new math. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm OG baby.
But no, I feel like I've shown you that video though. He does like the Kanye West spin like thing, and then at the end he's like, "I hope you're happy." Like he goes this whole breakdown about how like
Did you show me the video in person or did you send me a link?
I think I showed it to you in
He
person.
talks
say-
about how Kanye did like an auto-tuned rant
Yeah.
on his
But then,
concert,
like,
and then he
half-
does a rant about Chipotle, about how like
They need to tell
he's
him.
making a burrito and they don't tell him that
It's
he's
not-
putting too
everything's
much
not
on.
gonna fit.
Man, maybe I'll watch that
He,
one
he
day.
also talks about how the diameter of a Pringles can is way too small.
Yeah, I think we found our outro song.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Well,
They'll
the
probably get
middle of
pulled
that
down
song is
anyway.
basically him saying that he's like not mentally stable because he worries too much about what people think about him, and he just like instead of worrying about himself, he worries about making everybody else happy, and then he talks like he goes back to like just singing about the burrito again, just because he's like, you idiots in the audience don't give a fuck. You're just gonna. I think he says like they'll laugh as long as you make it rhyme, and they all start laughing again. And I'm like, you fucking. And then he ends and he goes, "I hope you're happy," and that's the end of the
I like that.
special.
But
And then
anyway,
he lost his mind. Like he literally like stopped performing because he was mentally like he was.
yeah, I mean that's
having
what the
mental health
whole
issues.
that's what his whole.
And then the
Netflix
inside
special.
one is like a different one. Yeah.
Well, the only reason I say that is because 99% of the time, if you send me a YouTube link, I will not watch it.
nah,
Like
I,
it's just
I might
the same way, right?
I might open it, and if it's more than 2 minutes,
You know what? You know what's helped if you can now you can just kind of it
Watch
just
it
plays
in the
in the
text.
text. But anyway, welcoming back to the podcast for the first time since 2019, Shanks. Welcome back to the podcast, man.
Speaking of someone whose YouTube videos I don't watch,
Yeah.
Shanks, how are you?
You can make a shortcut on them now. I didn't realize you could do
What do
that.
you mean?
So if you want to send somebody something, you can literally just send the clip you want to send them.
Like
You can chop
I
it.
want 13 seconds. You
Yeah, I can
send
chop
that.
it. Is that the limit?
I mean, that's pretty
It's
good.
like a Billy Joel song where you gotta-
you gotta if you want to make it hit, you gotta make it fit. So I cut it down
Kind
to
of 305. Gotta love the entertainment. Welcome back, man. How are you?
Feels good.
It's I think your son wasn't born yet the last
No,
time you were on the
29.
podcast.
Potter's
We had
the last
no.
one Shanks was on.
the Harry
That's
Potter
crazy.
one was where we
Yeah.
kind of like hit our stride in terms of format and quality.
That
and-
was arguably the best podcast the first year.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yep,
There we
100%.
go. Well, I like to think it was me.
Well, no pressure.
I
no,
know,
no
I know,
pressure
yeah.
this
So
time.
don't fuck this up.
Wow.
Well, speaking of our best podcast, probably one of the best things on TV this entire year has been Stranger Things season 4.
He's a Segway king now. Yeah, you're not used to
God.
that. Yeah.
Well, Shanks is an avid listener. He's just never seen it in person.
Holy
Shanks
shit.
doesn't know how well you segue.
Whoa, Shanks, where'd your socks go?
Where my pants go? Oh my god.
Well,
knocked his socks off. Wow.
I did. So, but before we get to that, we have some news, some things to discuss. So, our last episode was a spoiler-free thoughts. I had shared my thoughts. Audrey had shared her thoughts, but I want to give the floor to you and Bob to, spoiler free, kind of share your thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder.
I haven't been able to listen to that episode yet, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the same opinion. Where
Probably.
I just thought they tried to cram way too many jokes into the movie.
Yeah. So one of the things that Christian Bale has mentioned is that he had a scene with Jeff Goldblum and Eitri.
Is it cut entirely?
It
Jeff
cut-
Goldblum's on the IMDb page.
Yeah, it's cut
I
entirely.
saw that, yeah. And then I didn't know if he was like in the background when they were in like the God place or
So
like, he
one
was
of
somewhere,
the
but-
theories was that because Gore is the God Butcher, that they might have had a two scene, like he might have went to Eitri to kill Eitri for the Bifrost, and then same thing with Goldblum, and they didn't know maybe if they
they're
got
looking
some.
for what the key to open up the
Yeah, but he had
thing.
killed them. Maybe Christian Bale, Gore had killed them, but then they were like, well, maybe if they got too much pushback from the horror element of Multiverse
Doctor
of Madness,
Strange.
and you don't want your July movie to be we killed Jeff Goldblum. I don't know. That was
He
just
is
like a rumor.
He's a summer blockbuster
I mean,
hero.
He is.
It would also explain, because like another one of the points you said after the movie was that there wasn't enough gore,
There's not enough.
But
and
also,
maybe that's
like-
why. Maybe they cut a lot of his scenes.
Yes.
Well, also,
No.
like, what if you want to? You just like they film it and then they decided, you know what, we might want to use the collector.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
let's just not.
most
He's not the
likely-
collector. What's his name?
he's the collector's brother. What
The
is he?
Grandmaster?
The Grandmaster. That's it.
yeah.
Shane. So I don't know. I mean, this is all speculation. It could just be he could have been like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but we probably did. Shane, anything else you want to add? Kind of spoiler free.
That's about it. I enjoyed the movie a lot. I just thought it was like a joke would land, and then there would be 3 more jokes that didn't land. Crack it on, Mike.
Yeah,
you
as
fuck.
loud as fucking possible, dude.
So why we don't fucking have this guy
I
on
didn't
very
want to
often.
interrupt you.
So Bob is a huge fan of that run too. So what did you
The
think?
Jane Foster run. I actually haven't read the Gore stuff. I don't think I might have had some like in passing.
It's his podcast. He can
Yeah,
crack it off,
okay,
Mike,
yeah,
if he wants.
It was just it was just an ease to just. It was in the cup holder. We are in a new location. We're all a little
Yeah.
discombobulated.
I've
today.
read.
But we're using the original table, though.
Yes,
We're
this is.
back.
Back to
yeah,
our
very,
roots.
very close.
COVID.
I've.
COVID. What COVID?
It's over. The war happened.
Yeah,
The COVID's gone.
I'm
so
not-
that's fine.
I'm not gonna make any comments, but take that as you will.
We're all joking. We're all joking. That's on our podcast.
But yeah, so I've read like Original Sin, which has Gore. That's when like I've read a lot of stuff with Lady Jane, and when Thor is unworthy of the hammer, which is really what happens where she becomes Thor. It's not. He doesn't have the new I can't remember the name of
Stormbreaker.
the axe for whatever reason. Yeah, he doesn't have Stormbreaker. He just isn't worthy of having
Right. Because
Mjolnir.
Gore says.
Cole
you're not-
whispers something into his ear, and you don't know what it is, and then
He's
that's like the
unworthy.
entire run is you finding out what was said and all this stuff.
Now, this isn't a spoiler because I'm pretty sure it was in one of the trailers. The thing that her Mjolnir does where it breaks apart and then
Yeah,
comes
yeah, it
back,
was in the
is
trailer.
that anywhere in the comics or
Not
is
that I
that
know.
I
strictly
don't think
for the
so.
movie?
I think it might strip.
I like that a lot.
I thought it was
I
cool.
thought it was
yeah,
really
yeah.
I wish they would have done more of that.
I don't think they did a good job of explaining. Like I think that some things were rushed to get to because they were
Her-
really telling 2 stories.
Her
at
becoming
once.
Thor was extremely rushed.
Yeah, so that's the thing that I
She-
kind of like didn't.
The only thing
enjoy
I
too
like, I
much without
didn't-
explaining why or what
Yeah, I
happened.
can't really
I
get
just
into
I
it
don't
much.
think it needed. We know who she is. They eventually.
But like her
did.
being worthy to have the hammer.
But like how much
Like
more?
that was.
backstory?
But that's a whole scene in Age of Ultron where nobody can pick the hammer
lift
up,
the
and then
hammer
all
up.
of a sudden Jane can just be Thor. Like for that, like you.
Well, they did explain it.
They
in a
did,
simpler
but in a
way.
very simplistic way. That's an entire run
But
of the
does
comic.
that explanation really make her worthy, though?
It's
No, but I
It's
think that
protecting.
yeah, I think it still is fine.
but actually,
like, it
but
works.
if you think about it,
I can't say too much because I'm going to spoil
But even
it.
if you
Yeah.
think about it, it doesn't really protect her.
That's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to say that because...
Whatever. Well, that's for the suits in Washington to figure out.
I mean, it does, but it doesn't. When she's Thor, she's fine.
Well, you know what? That's showbiz, baby.
What's
All
up?
right, on
I
the next
didn't
thing.
see Thor: Love and Thunder, but how does so?
Then shut the fuck up.
I know, thank you. But can I just walk up to her and just shoot her with a gun and she dies? Because she's not a god. Does she become a
When
god?
she has the
She
hammer,
has
she's
the
a
hammer.
god.
Okay.
yeah.
Because I was like, is this just some
And then when
broad
she doesn't
like that?
have the
Like
hammer, she's just Jane Foster.
okay.
Nobody cares about. James
It's kind of
Foster.
like
I actually
did you
really
watch
liked
Moon Knight?
her.
I watched some of it.
So it's kind of like Moon Knight, where like when he's in the
His suit.
thing,
Okay.
he's like,
I really like Jane in this movie. thought
No,
it
I
was
did
very
too.
cool.
I thought so. Like I liked it. I had very high expectations for it just
So did
because
I.
I really liked that run, and I knew what I was getting with Taika Waititi. But then at the same time, I was like, I don't need this much Taika Waititi humor.
It was
And
too much.
To interrupt,
I could listen to Korg narrate a story till the cows come home, though,
Yeah.
because that is
the problem I think was too with this is that it was a very heavy storyline. It was a very darker storyline.
the gore stuff was great. Like you said, anytime, which I liked, because he's like a very sinister, just almost purely evil. He just wants to like watch the world burn because he's mad. And like that wasn't campy, jokey. Like they kept that out away from him. But then other scenes when he wasn't there, that stuff was kind of
And that's the problem. I think he's not in it enough.
yeah.
The one thing that somebody did say that I completely agree with, it was actually really nice to see Christian Bale not be so like razor sharp. Like he seemed very like kind of relaxed. Like you usually see him, he's very in the role. Like he's always kind of serious, and it was kind of cool to see him laugh.
I feel like I'm not an actor, and I don't claim to be one, but like.
Are you sure?
If I wanted to work for a director, I feel like Taika Waititi would be a fun director to work with.
100%.
He's probably just like, fuck it, have fun with it, do what you want to do.
We'll do, mate.
Yeah,
He's probably not giving you very many notes.
So
I mean, he might be,
especially
but it's like
who
he might be. I feel like he's the kind of guy who gives you a note. And he goes, if you want to do it.
Yeah.
But like,
who are you to give Christian Bale notes? Let him do his thing.
yeah. So he's probably just like, all right,
know?
I'm going to do this. I'm going to be who I want to be.
Unless you're
You can-
Scorsese or Nolan, I don't think you should be giving
So,
Christian Bale
You
notes.
can move my mole in one scene.
I gotta go back and
Dude,
watch this
it
movie.
fucked me up.
What scene?
It's the very beginning, like the
All right.
opening scene before
All right.
anything.
I'm gonna go.
So opening scene, if you haven't seen it, you're going to see it. So just watch Christian Bale's mole. It's on like the right side of his face, and then the one time they cut back to his face, and it's on the left side because I guess they
That's
had
crazy.
like it flipped
Because
like,
that's
whatever,
like his actual.
mirrored
face.
But I'm saying they had like they must like just mirrored the shot and did
Christian Bale took it
it.
himself. He selfied
So, like,
himself.
randomly
He's
was
method
on the
acting.
it
So
was just randomly on the other side, and I caught it, and it just
well, you know me. I'm gonna. This is one I'm definitely gonna see again because I didn't hate it. I expected more. That's just all it comes down to. But out of 5 lightning bolts, what do you guys give it?
what did I give it? 3.5 or 4 the other night? I forget what I did.
You have to give it
3.5, I
Audra
think.
tried to give it 4.2, and I was like, no, it's either half or full.
Yeah, we're not.
If I was doing,
We're not rating pizzas.
yeah, exactly. If I was giving it percentages or
Don't
whatever,
come after us, Barstool.
3.75, I gave it a 4. I think I gave it 4 out of 5.
I think
And Ragnarok's because Ragnarok's
what
a
I
near
said,
is a
yeah.
near perfect film.
I think I'd go 3.5.
I think
Give me
3.5.
more gore and less forced comedy, and it's easily a 4.5.
Okay.
And 3.5, I think, is also relative.
And more Chris Hemsworth ass. So
you
that's
can never have enough of that.
that's Asgard's ass.
Yes, that's Asgard's. Yes. The one thing I really did like about it too, before we move on to Stranger Things, is that it was probably the first self-contained movie in a really long time. Because even Shang-Chi pulled in the Mandarin, but it was very much
It relied on the other movies.
on the other movies. But like it was no multiverse. It was
like
no,
you could watch this and just basically have seen Thor and Avengers.
Yeah.
Or like Endgame, I guess.
Yeah,
and
but like the Guardians were in it, but they were kind of just like
they
a
were in it
backdrop
for
thing.
a second.
But it felt like a very early stages, and even like the end credit scene, like the way that it was like setting up things. Like,
the
it
end
felt
credit scene I
very-
also seen was basically self-contained. Like they
Yeah.
all applied to Thor. It wasn't just some random person.
like or for the
popping
next
in.
movie or
Yeah.
something like that. So I like that about it, and I hope Taika comes back. I really do. It
Shanks,
just-
closing thoughts?
I give it 4 out of 5 stars.
oh, you liked it that much?
Dude, I thought it was great.
All right, so we got to get to the topic at hand. Despite the runtime of this season, we do not have that kind of runtime for this episode, but we are here to talk Stranger Things Season 4. I'm going to kind of pass the mic here to our Stranger Things king and let him kind of start it off. Not you, Shanks.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought you were giving it to
Like,
Shanks.
what? I wasn't sure.
For a second, I was like, Shanks has been texting me about Stranger Things for the last
Yeah,
like month.
Shanks
so
is
it might be
Shanks
him.
super hyped up about this season, and we were all really excited to have him on the podcast for this because he was very in. Would you watch it in like a weekend? The first
The
part.
first one, dude, I
part.
watched. Oh my god, I think I watched the first 5 episodes in like
If
was
probably like half a day.
Yeah,
Like,
it came out the Friday Memorial Day weekend, and I don't think you started Friday, did you? I think you did
Nah,
it
it's
Saturday,
Saturday.
and
Like-
like Shanks texted me, he's like, hey, we just started Stranger Things, and like 7 hours later, he's like, we just finished episode 5. And I'm
He's
like,
like-
dude, what the hell? What the
It's
fuck?
like that Friday. He's like, hey, did you get to 5 yet? And I was
Yeah.
like, no, dude.
I was so
It
confused
just came out
too.
9 hours
Yeah,
ago.
I watched Obi-Wan first too.
I thought they were releasing what? I looked it up and it was like the first 5 episodes were like was supposed to be the first like half of it, and then like it was a continue. I'm like, oh, we can't find the remote, and then it started. I was like,
Shanks
do we
is-
have a sneak peek? Of
Shanks
the new
is also the worst at this. So like Shanks watched The Mandalorian
Oh yeah, that's right.
late. Like he watched The Mandalorian late when it first aired. And so he watched season 1 like probably like 2 or 3 months after it came out. And he's like, "Oh man, that was awesome." And then season 2 starts and he's like he texts me, he's like, "Yeah, how the fuck did they get out of that like standoff with the?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Dude, they were like trapped in that building and all the stormtroopers were outside, and then they just
Like
cut."
Moff
And
Gideon
it's
shows up,
it's-
and then they
it's
escape.
completely
The
different. I'm
robot's
like-
not there anymore.
Like,
What
dude,
happened?
did you not watch the
that
last
was-
episode of the season? He goes, "Ah, fuck, maybe I did it."
Wait, he pulled a me on
So
the
what is
Indiana
it?
Jones
Eight,
rewatch?
is it 8 episodes?
The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I
I
think
watched
so.
So he
Seven.
watched 1 through 7, and then episode 1 of season 2, and was just lost.
That's like Shane.
Did
Shane
you
did
for
that
the Indiana
with-
Jones?
No, you did that for Entourage. You watched the last season first.
I did do that by
And
accident.
he was like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm so fucking confused. I was like, yeah.
But I did that for Indiana Jones.
You watched
I
3
skipped right
instead
to.
of 2.
I think just because I didn't want to watch 2 because it fucking sucks, Audra.
Well, I think you were a little preoccupied at the time too. He had sex.
He was having sex.
He was having
Aw.
sex. He wasn't the only one looking for the Temple of Doom, if you know what I mean.
He was rating a lost ark for sure.
Some would say he hoped it wasn't his last crusade.
King Crystal Skull.
I was gonna say something super inappropriate for Crystal Skull, so I'm just
Like-
not going.
What?
Like his dick was a crystal skull.
Ah,
Just like
yeah.
very clear. It's not even like an entendre. It's clearly
When he came, it looked like a
yeah.
crystal skull.
He crystal skulled that girl.
He made her body a kingdom of crystal skulls. All right, we're here to talk about Stranger Things. So anyway, so Stranger Things premiered Memorial Day weekend this year.
May 27th.
After what? 2 years, Bob?
2 and almost
2019.
yeah, so almost 3
Almost
at
3.
that point.
That's
It was
a
the
long
summer of 2019.
So you know what the craziest part is? I was looking on Wikipedia and it said that they started filming in February, and they showed a teaser late February of 2020.
Well, I'm sure they had material that they kind of just wanted to use, but it was
Well,
also
they-
like their teaser.
And they
the-
immediately
the-
showed
the-
Hopper alive.
But they shot everything out of order too.
But I also think
Yeah,
that they
that's
shot
normal.
that.
they did show him alive right away.
They shot that I think early because
Yeah.
like they immediately went to Russia at the end of season 3. Like there's that
But
end
also,
credit scene.
didn't you know though? Like he's so big of a character, you
Oh, I
have
knew.
to actually see him die
Yeah.
for him to be
Well,
dead.
Well, that's the
yes.
thing. So the end of season 3, they immediately go to Russia and they talk about the
Yeah.
American. So the only options you had for the American were Hopper or Dr. Brenner.
Yeah.
And so like those were the two
Like,
options.
Hopper
but like
had
it
to
had
be
to be
alive.
Hopper.
Dude, I wanted Hopper so bad to be in the Upside Down and be like the Jungle Book where he comes out later on and he's like
That
this
would've
like
been sweet.
Demigorgon like
Jumanji,
Like-
not the Jungle
oh,
Book.
my
But
bad, my
yes,
bad.
yes. I know the reference.
Cut that.
Yeah.
Nah, leave it. Yeah, he wanted him to come out, and he was like really good friends with a bear now, and then they sang a lot of their
what are you
thoughts.
doing here?
You know what's weird? I registered that he said Jungle Book, but I
Dude,
still knew
he still
exactly
knew.
what he
Yeah, I
said.
knew what he was talking
Oh,
about.
I would have kept going if you guys didn't say anything.
I just wanted to fix it for the listeners so
alright,
they
yeah.
weren't like, wait, Hopper's Mowgli?
Dude, I wanted him to come out so bad like that and be a badass killer.
So I think I need to come out and say this aloud. I had already admitted it in previous. So I was one of the people complaining about the runtime, and I still think from a TV perspective, these runtimes were outrageous. However,
The last one was awful.
justified. I
You thought it
think
was awful?
No, not the episode.
Just
but
the
like
idea.
The runtime.
Oh, yeah, like-
dude, it was a Lord of the Rings movie.
I know.
told Shane,
I
I'm
told
like-
you it was, but
I was also complaining about the runtime until I started watching the season.
Yep.
And I was like,
Oh,
I wish every one of these episodes was 3 hours long.
the only thing that sucked about the runtime was like, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to watch this before I have to go to work.
Yeah.
And I couldn't because I'm like, I don't have 3 hours.
You had to
go.
find a good part where it was
Exactly.
like, okay, now I can stop.
Well,
Exactly.
see, that's the thing. This was a show that I was not stopping in the middle of an episode to
I
come
did.
back to.
I
That's-
was watching the finale.
Episode
then-
7, I watched it at your house. I was because we had to go up to, we were
Oh,
going up to
yeah,
record,
yeah,
and I just
yeah.
couldn't, I didn't get to finish it.
I was watching the finale, and I get up to the part with Max, And then it was time to leave for work. I had to pause it. I was like,
I wish we were a visual medium.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
after
That what Shane just did.
He looked like
you
looked
would've
like the
thought.
Wolf of Wall Street when he was dancing at his wedding.
He looked like the Wolf of Wall Street when he was on
Quaaludes?
Quaaludes. Yeah.
Not a scratch.
Like he thought it looked great, but it didn't.
Nah, I thought Vecna was here. I actually got nervous.
Yeah, I thought he was
Yeah.
getting.
You guys better start playing the
boned
song.
I
up.
slid my chair back a little bit.
You guys
So-
better start playing that Chrissy, I don't like this song.
Yeah.
Pull me right out.
So I was one that was like, this is dumb. However, when it started, and I said like, I didn't have interest because it had been so long, and Obi-Wan was coming out. the
Shane
same
and
time.
RP. I'm not gonna say they were like haters, but
You
there
can.
there
Yeah,
was
you can.
there was some Stranger Things slander happening in text where
Well,
it's like
and
it's been too long. I don't really think I'm gonna care as much as I used to. And like one episode,
well, that's it
and they were
starts.
like, "This is fucking great."
back in.
Well,
And they both admitted it.
I
Like, they
did.
both-
I admitted it, but also Shane would say after I said it, Shane's like, well, it's probably just because it's been such a long
Yeah,
time.
no, you guys knew.
So I was more so like, I just like the idea of it just taking so long really annoyed me, and I understood why. And after you watch the season, you understand why.
and also
you had
COVID was the other
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You had a
they-
good point, too. It was probably something with the contract where they were like, we only want this amount of episodes.
No,
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
So-
I said that
Then
earlier.
what's the point then? Because they easily could have
Netflix said you can do whatever you want, and the Duffer Brothers said, "Well, we want a fucking 2-hour and 20-minute
Yeah.
episode."
Yeah.
And they're gonna like it.
They
easily
said
could have been 2
they
or 3
said
episodes.
after 8 that they like we feel like we need another
I
episode.
think they wanted
Did
that.
they
in
not
Netflix
one-
want? Did they not
quickly
want to leave
greenlit
you
it.
hanging?
I
with
think
all
they
of them
wanted that in
upside
one
down?
episode.
Well, they wanted to get us to wrap everything up. They said they have a lot of loose threads, and that they,
There's a very clear stopping point about halfway through the last
Yeah.
episode. Vecna has everybody in his grasp, and you could have cut there, and the stakes are super high. He's fucking basically telling Eleven, like,
you're gonna die.
you're going to watch this shit first. You're
if
going
it
to
was
watch me kill all your friends because you fucking created this. Cut.
Yeah.
And
Which-
then next
If that was a
episode-
weekly show and they cut us there, I'd be so angry for like a
See,
week.
I have to say, I loved having it. However, I would have loved to have lived in this world for 9 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
instead of just
have this conversation every week.
I'm
Did
gonna
you wa-
rewatch this season like 3 times. Before
yeah,
the
but
next
also the
season
bad
comes
part
out.
about all this is Shanks was on episode 5.
Yeah.
We were on.
You're
this
not on the
is-
same. You like. It's not like. All right, so Obi-Wan or Mandalorian comes out. Hey, did you watch it yet? Yeah, I watched it. The Boys. We've been doing it with the Boys a lot.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Boys this week? Yeah, we watched it. All right, let's talk about that episode. Blah 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 blah. This was like, hey, what episode are you on?
Yeah.
Or like I feel like the phrasing that I had to use all the time would be like, how did it end?
Yeah.
So I remembered which episode. I think I'm on 4. Well,
'Cause
how
you
did
don't
it end?
wanna
Because
absolute-
it's like, are they at the lake? But I can't say are they at the lake before they get
See,
to the lake, and then
and you
that's an
don't
issue.
wanna-
That's what's good about having Shanks because we both like binging shit.
I do want a day
I do
because
want a
I
day.
want to
So
enjoy
you
it.
would-
And even
I
that's
binge it.
fast.
Because you texted me the one day and you were like, "How much have you seen?" And I said, "I've seen all of it." So you were like, "Good," because I
You're
want
in.
to talk about this.
This
this
is our
and
group
this.
chat now.
Yeah.
Well, because part of it too
just
is
two
just
of you.
like,
That's just a
and I
normal text, you
understand,
dope.
I understand
No,
that that's Netflix's model and whatnot, but for a fan experience, I feel like it's better. You live week to week with the characters, and there's the people of like Shane who I need this now.
I think there's 2 types of people in the world. There's the ones who are like, I can watch all this right now. I fucking love that. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
David Harbour was on Preston and Steve
Mm-hmm.
a few years ago, and he was like complaining. And he was like, people are like, oh, when's the next season coming out? He's like, we gave you fucking 10 hours.
Yeah.
And you watched it in a day.
Yeah.
Like, that's not my fault. I didn't, you
That's-
fucking,
it's
he goes,
just-
I think he goes, you need to watch one episode every 3 months if you want this to space
And
out.
I like that. Yeah, right. I like that when Disney Plus started, I was like, oh, I like this. And I think there's been a little bit of feedback in our friends group, like, oh, I don't like that. But as it's gotten out,
They
it's
did
the
it
prefer-
first, really.
Yeah,
right?
They
episodic.
were,
Where they forced it. Like, the Boys all came out at once the first season.
and then the second
season. I like 3
the 3 at
episodes
first.
and then one a week. It's
absolutely,
fine.
absolutely.
I would have liked it right now because I might have seen this on the last episode we all did together. We had no content for like 2.5 years, and then they're like, "Hey, like 7 of those shows that you like, here's all of
of
it
them
right
at
now."
once.
And I was so overwhelmed. Like, I haven't started Miss Marvel yet. I still got to finish The Boys. I haven't done the last season of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shows ever. I still haven't even watched it yet.
I did all that.
I have so many
You wanna
fucking
know why?
shows to watch.
I watched it one at a time.
Yeah. One a day.
But no,
It's-
I've just been so overwhelmed with shows. Like, I wanted to watch Stranger Things first because that's what I cared about
Yeah.
most. And then I
Umbrella
want to do Umbrella
Academy,
Academy.
did.
And like,
Well, that's the same thing. Like in that one, I don't mind as much, but I've always just been at least one a day because that's less I have to wait to the next season.
And it's also
it might be a couple days, but
it's
like-
also easier. Like I have the time.
It's not even like I can complain about it because I've wanted something to watch for so long, and now they're giving it to
It's
me.
just
but
all there at once.
every single show is giving it to me now.
However, all I'm saying is I think I prefer this model, and I think this would be really great for the community. And I think we talked about it on the season 3 episode. It would be great to live week to week in a show like this because people watch it in a day.
Like I think
the pandemonium for Stranger Things, I think, would be so much bigger.
we
than
always
what it
talk
already is.
back about Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Like, Game of Thrones.
It would have been the same thing.
Game of Thrones was like an
that
event
show where it was like
every week, the
like
last
you don't
season.
do shit on Sunday
Yep.
Yeah.
because you got to watch Game of Thrones and then talk about it on Monday. Like if I didn't see Game of Thrones on a Sunday night, I fucking didn't want to go to work the next day
Yeah.
because I'm like
Talking
people
about
are
it.
going to see it.
Yeah.
People are going to be talking
I
about
had Red
it.
Wedding spoiled. I was at a wedding and like they were
Wow.
ironically, I know. And they're
And
like,
then they killed the
"Can
bride."
you believe what happened?" I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, they killed everybody." I'm like, "Oh, god damn it!"
Yeah.
I think it was like the
If
season.
I ever,
Then it's like your own
if I ever
fault.
get married during the part where everyone's eating, I'm gonna have the band-
Chainmail.
No, I'm gonna have them play Reigns of
Reigns of
Castamere,
Castamere.
just to see someone like start freaking out.
It'll be me, just fucking spazzing.
You do like 18 bush lights,
Yeah.
just fucking spazzing out.
Just
That's
one
also-
each chain, just
but-
terrifying.
But also this like spoiling. That's also the world we live in. That's why I also hate everything's out at once. I was terrified to go on Twitter
I would
because
say
I
a
would
week.
see something.
well, even like Stranger Things accounts.
Yeah, we're tweeting shit out.
They'll put up like clips from episodes. So like I forget what it was. I think it was on Instagram, but they put up a clip from like episode 4, like 2 days after the season came out.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
and
I'm
it's
not that far yet.
No,
like, what the
exactly.
fuck?
And then you accidentally see something. It's just like with all the movies. Like I'm just,
Yeah.
and I see the movies first, and I still see sometimes have shit spoiled for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, it would have been great, but we still got a fantastic
Yeah, I mean-
month. I think we got a month because we had
I
Memorial
like
Day
that
and
they
then the
did it
wait till
this
the
way.
end.
I like that they did it this way at least, because it was, hey, here's your 7. Now fucking
Wait.
figure this out.
So did you
Yeah.
guys finish 8 and 9 in one sitting?
No,
No,
I did
couldn't.
2 days.
I didn't have time to.
No,
I
I mean, it's 4 hours. Did you do 4 hours straight through?
Yeah, we did.
You were down the shore, right?
It was our last day down the shore,
So I did 8 and then half of 9, I think.
Okay.
And then I had to, or no, I got to 9 right after Max was like levitating in the air, and then I had to stop and go to work.
yeah, for the record, if you were listening, this is completely spoiler filled.
I don't give a fuck about you.
You're listening to the Stranger Things season 4
Yeah.
episode.
Sometimes you gotta
It's
throw it
fucking
out there.
spoilers.
You've had 9 days
Yeah.
I would
to
say a
watch
week, man.
4
At,
hours.
One
at-
week to
well,
catch
at
up
this,
to
at this
everything.
point, they would have had 3 weeks because this is coming out in 2 weeks.
Well, all
So they
right.
have plenty of time.
Yeah. So
Fuck
fuck
you. But yeah, so we watched it
This is a
because
unified attack on you coming through your car.
whoever
speakers right now.
it is.
You're just at a red light having a bad day, and now we're saying fuck you too.
So we were down the shore.
and they were telling me to fuck themselves.
I can't believe that happened. Oh my god! So many emotions.
I didn't
but
know how it ended. Oh fuck! Oh fuck me too. Fuck.
Even if we would have woke up at the ass crack of dawn, we had people coming up that day, so we wouldn't have got to it Saturday. Then we had all you guys coming up for the floors on Sunday, and then Monday we were busy, so we wouldn't have got to it. So I was like, me and Audrey were just like, let's just fucking do it. And I'm glad we did. It was long. It was very, very long.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But
would have
I'm
liked
glad.
to do that because once I finished 8, I wanted to watch 9 right
Yeah.
away. I didn't have time to
Yeah.
watch all of 9.
That's
so
what
then I had
you
to stop.
said that to me, and I was like, dude, I'm shocked. Because Shane, for those who don't know, we mentioned on Shane is a binge. He just really likes to binge.
It was just because I didn't have the time because
Yeah.
of work.
And because the episode's so long, like
Yeah.
that's where the episode being long is.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like, oh my god, this fucking's not gonna end.
Yeah.
You're sitting there. Well,
I
episode
said-
7 was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think.
Like I had to stop with like 45 minutes left of the finale.
Yeah.
I legitimately thought about just being late for work and finishing the episode. I was like, fuck
Duke
it,
was.
I don't care.
So episode 7 was the last one from part 1, and we were recording one of the Jurassic Park episodes that night.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
I was watching it, and I was like, I'll have time to finish it. And then I think I was driving up, and so maybe Shane drove up, whatever it was me, Shane, and Nick, though, and they were ready.
Mhm.
I was like, fuck, I guess I got to finish this later. And we got to RP's house, and he's like, do you want to just finish it?
Yeah, we
like,
finished while
and
we
so-
were
so
waiting for
we were
Audrey
waiting
to pick up
for
the food.
and I sat on RP's couch and I watched a half hour, and I
On-
thought it was like
on the edge of
on
your
the edge,
seat.
like a child,
Yeah,
like a little
yeah.
kid, just like leaned over, hunched over, staring at the screen in RP's house, and then it was done. And I was like, I thought there was 40 minutes left or whatever it was. And RP's like, yeah, there was. You just watched it. Like
That was a big episode too.
Yeah.
but
That
it
was
felt so
that was one's
fast.
monologue.
It was when one
That was a
reveals
really-
himself
that was a really
as
good
Vecna and
episode.
everything.
It was good, but that's also the pizza tracker from Domino's is a fucking liar because Audrey left.
Well, she also was texting me, asking about it,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't looking at my phone because I was on the edge of my seat.
So let's get into it then. So I think off the bat, thoughts, Shanks. What is your thoughts on this season? Did it live up to your expectations? Did it blow yours away? Did it improve the hype? Like, what did you love about it? Let's kind of just get into the broad strokes of off the cuff. Off the cuff, what do you think?
What do you think it was?
Off the cuff.
Okay.
I think it was a great for waiting that long for what we got. I feel like it was worth the wait. They explained basically everything you needed to know. Everything's kind of laid out. You understand how the Upside Down work, and I mean, you're ready just for this battle to go down for season 5, basically. Like that's all it is now. You're just like, how do they beat them? We know how like the Upside Down works. You got to close the portals and blah blah blah. No, I just think it was a good setup. I mean, it was long, but I mean,
Yeah.
the episodes
Well,
it didn't feel long.
No,
It
it
didn't.
never felt long.
Even with the finale, that was until the last 45 minutes. That was the quickest 2.5 hour thing I
Yeah.
think I'd ever watched. The last 45 minutes I thought was a
Yeah.
little bit long, but it needed to be. It was setting shit up.
I compared it to Lord of the Rings in a text
Yeah.
before Shanks had watched it, and he said, "Why did you ask? I forget what you said. What happens?" But really, I was comparing it because
the sword.
because Hopper fights with a sword,
Yeah.
and it's 2.5 hours long.
Did you know
That
it was the Conan
actual
sword?
good.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I just
alright.
found that out.
And I thought you meant because of the 15
Fake
endings.
endings, yeah.
There's like so many endings. But part of what you mentioned, Shanks, is also why I really liked it. And that was part of what the Duffer Brothers wanted to do this year. They really wanted to show the mythology behind the Upside Down and really start to explain fully what it is. And the cool part about it is that they gave Netflix a like 800-page document before they started the show
Yeah, of how it works.
of how everything works, the mythology, the characters, kind of the outline.
I liked it like
and I thought that was really
a
fucking
lot
cool.
of shows. It's like each season, all right, who's our big bad, right? And
Yeah.
even this one, it's Vecna this season, but like, it's not just Vecna. Like
Their best big bad.
But
too, I
I'm
think.
saying, but like all 4 seasons are so interconnected and so tied together. Like when this is all said and done, you could sit there and watch whatever it'll be, probably 40 plus hours of content, and it's just gonna feel like one long story. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's very much like chapters of a book,
And it's
as opposed to like
full books.
here's another season.
Yeah.
Here's all right. Now they're gonna try. They got to beat this thing now because it's like, yes, Vecna is the new big bad, but he's always been in there. They just didn't know about
Yeah.
it. But then he's related to the Mind Flayer, and you find out that it's actually because of 11, really. And then like the gates that she had opened previously had been there, and Vecna was kind of like pulling strings behind the scenes, and it's all very well tied together.
And I
think.
enjoy too about how you say that. Just like a good book, each chapter you turn, you learn more and more, and just they kind of
And
peel.
and the shows are chapters.
They
Each
are
episode's a
chapters.
chapter.
That's true.
Those Duffer Brothers
There's
are
some-
something else.
But just like a onion, they kept peeling back.
yeah,
Levels and levels of the Upside Down. They didn't
Yeah,
reveal it
ogres
at
are
once.
like onions.
Ogres are like onions.
that was not a good.
That's
Shrek
it. That's
impression.
when me and Audra like were hanging out the one time, she's like, "Do a Shrek impression."
You just hung out once.
Yeah, just one time. and then I
once and
asked
then
her
got married.
to
Yeah.
I asked her to marry me, and today is our anniversary, and I'm spending it with you, fuck. So, happy anniversary, Audra. But I was like, "Oh, good." She's like, "Do this," and I was like, "Okay." I'm like completely serious.
Let's rewind though. Actually, but I know you're gonna tell this ogre story. Today's the anniversary
of our
of
engagement.
you're engaged, but now you're married. Do you still like? Does that
No.
still count?
You only
No, you
get
just
one
say-
fucking anniversary, dude.
Hey, relax. Relax.
Fuck you too, actually.
When you go, you're married.
I'm asking
guys-
this question.
Or am I?
So,
Yeah.
true.
As
For
someone,
the listeners out there.
As
slaps divorce papers on the table.
as
Well,
someone who's never,
it's been in the works for a while.
Yeah, I
so.
know.
As someone
Every
who's
time
never
I go
been
out, I
engaged,
forget my ring.
as someone who's never been engaged or married, shocker, I know.
That's what I'm saying. Thank God we're not a visual medium.
Is that
Thank
the
God a
real-
visual medium where ladies would be clamoring over
Yeah.
you.
Thanks,
I would
man.
say Shane too, but he's wifed up.
Yeah, with-
But like,
Just-
what?
with
How does
Duke-
that work?
Duke
So-
Because
thinks
like
I'm handsome.
initially, you have like the day you started dating is your anniversary.
So all we do, say
But that gets thrown out the window when you get
Oh,
engaged.
it's
Yeah,
just
when you get divorced, it's the same thing. You don't
It's my second anniversary being
But
divorced.
I'm saying, but then your engagement becomes an
all you
anniversary.
do is just say, "Oh, happy anniversary, happy two." You don't even say happy anniversary. You say, "Oh, it's 2 years of us living together in this house. Oh, it's 2 years."
Yeah, I mean, well, you
I have no
moved
idea,
in the
dude.
same day that you.
It's all
got
one
engaged,
big blur
I guess
now.
that's-
So we
Gotta
just.
start writing this
It's
shit
not
down.
like
Yeah, I know.
we
You
do.
got a kid, so that's just fucking.
It's not like
and that
we-
kid was a monster. earlier.
You didn't even mention anything. This is the 10th time we've been to this restaurant, and you
he
didn't say happy.
he is a kid that actually
anniversary
likes
restaurant
him.
day.
Yeah,
How
but
crazy is that?
only like Shanks.
How crazy
Current.
is
He
it?
hates everybody else. Your
Current.
son.
Oh, he hates everybody.
Christine was cracking me up earlier. She's like, "Why do you like Shanks?" I'm like, "He fucking sucks."
But basically, all you do is you say, "Oh, happy this." No cards, no nothing. And then the dating one, you could say, "Oh, we've been together for 2.5 years."
And the wedding
Like, just-
anniversary.
That's the one
that's
you count.
when
That's-
you buy sex toys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to wait till the 5th. I think whatever year's the wood anniversary is the one I'm really looking forward to.
You whittle your own dildo.
Yeah. You guys saw me whittling.
Yeah,
when
I
put
saw
my
you
foot in.
practicing the other day. Yeah.
So anyway,
you got some time to really get that
the-
together.
so anyway, Stranger
Because
Things.
it's going to be a
No.
lot
So
of
anyway,
splinters.
Shrek.
Yeah, we're still on Shrek, dude.
So my Shrek impersonation, dead serious, was just like, Olga's are like onions, and I thought it.
I need you to stop doing it.
I was
Like,
like,
that one was worse than the first.
so
somehow.
me and it's just like a bit between me and my wife, but Olga's are like onions.
my wife.
My wife. I found out today Bob's never
I've
seen
never
Borat.
seen Borat.
Really? Never mind.
I'm watching.
Oh,
it.
it's funny.
Dude, I haven't watched anything.
I'm watching it this summer, but I've
But you
never.
have
I've seen
watched Stranger Things.
I
So
did
much
watch it.
Borat,
So back
but
to
not.
Stranger
yet.
Things.
Can we make the podcast watch Borat with us now?
I'll do a Borat watching episode.
So Shane,
As if it's new too.
I would do
This
that.
just came. This movie's great.
This-
Yeah, it came out fucking
um,
10 years ago.
Shane, what did you think of the season? What were your thoughts?
So, as
All right,
much-
cool. All right, then go ahead. Sorry.
Do it again.
I'm scared now. As much as I love season 1, I think 3 and 4.
Shane, do you ever shut the fuck up? I did that to RP earlier.
3 and 4 are the best. They introduced my two favorite characters, Murray and Eddie.
Well, that Murray's in
Fucking
too.
killed one of them.
Yeah.
See if the other one stays around.
Hey, they're both. He's alive.
He fucking. All right, we'll talk about the theory in a minute. But
He's
Murray-
dead.
Murray's not in one at all, right?
I don't think
He's
so.
in two
Nah,
for
he's
sure.
in two.
He's in two.
he's in 2.
Yeah, because
I thought 3 was when they started with the Russians.
Yeah, but he, Jonathan and Nancy go to see him, and that's when he like acknowledges that they. I think he's in season 1 too, because
Is he?
he like acknowledges that like they should be dating basically.
Mm-hmm.
What the?
So, because Bob would know, Bob's rewatched the series 4 times. He rewatches it
Yeah.
every time it comes out.
Nancy and Jonathan leave. But
I
I
don't
don't
remember
know
season-
because
Isn't he? I think
I
yeah,
don't remember
crazy
because he's a lawyer.
conspiracy.
He's a conspiracy theorist, and they're saying that Will's not dead.
I don't remember. Oh, okay.
And they had the fake body.
Yeah, but 2's when they go to him,
2 is when
Nancy, because that's when Barb goes missing, and then they go to visit him.
maybe it is 2.
See, it would help if it hasn't been 10 years since season 2.
You're not wrong.
Let me see how many.
Well, the
episodes
craziest
he's
part
been in.
is that it's only been 3 years inside their
Yeah,
storyline.
and meanwhile,
so Vecna's only been in the Upside
meanwhile,
Down
Mike
for
is
3
Mike
years.
is 27 years old. Hasn't
He
had
aged
hasn't had a haircut since season 1.
Aged like
Legitimately,
an
Steve
avocado.
is legitimately 30 years old.
So
Yeah.
no, I think he's like 20 something.
he's like he's 30.
He's
'Cause
30. We talked about
Dustin's
today.
10 years younger than me.
All right. So let me ask you this, Bob: are you gonna watch it again?
Yeah, when
Knowing
the new one
with-
comes out.
So
I am
I'm
So I do an
curious.
episode
to
a day. Each
yeah.
time,
I am too.
I'm
Yeah.
curious because when the first half of it we watched it, I was like, I can't wait. So I'm gonna just start from the beginning again. So we started watching it, and then we got like maybe halfway through season 1, and then that went to shit.
It's a completely different
But
show.
there's like
in
so
terms
many
of
things
tone.
like you can like when Will's on his bike and he's riding up and he sees something like, is that Vecna? Like there's so many things now.
I've seen theories where they're saying you can hear a clock in the
I've
background.
heard that too. Yeah.
But I've never heard it, so I don't know.
TikTok, the king of theories.
Dude, TikTok's way worse than Twitter with fucking theories.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so annoying. Well, that's how people.
Reddit's
that's
still
how
the
people
worst.
make their money.
But
Well,
TikTok,
TikTok
is
was
fucking
good because
awful.
You can just skip it by real easily.
but also like TikTok is where like the fact that it was Will's birthday,
Yeah,
when
they
which
were
they
skating
did
rink,
change.
like
Yeah, they're trying to retcon it now,
they
right?
retconning
they
it
fixed
to
it so it's not his birthday.
no. They instead of making the tape, they're going to go back and change Winona Ryder to say May instead of March because they
So
feel
that-
horrible about missing his birthday. But what are the odds that that's the
Like, they just
exact
happen
day?
to do the
people are
same
just,
date
people are just
twice.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, people are crazy in what they pick up and shit.
All right, so
So-
Mary is only season 2. They go to see Mary.
Really? I don't remember that.
Mary's one of my
Oh
favorite
yeah,
characters.
go
because
there.
that makes sense because Nancy and Steve are still together at the end of season 1. She buys Jonathan the camera for Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
And then season 2,
I
they're
don't-
like not together, but they are together.
I don't remember. It's such a fucking blur. It's been so long.
This is like my show.
How do you
Yeah,
feel about
Game
waiting?
of Thrones sucked so bad that
yeah.
I needed to latch onto something else, and Stranger
Don't worry,
Things
he's-
was there.
It's crazy. I mean, what a stranger. If they're not going to, but if they drop the ball, they're going to have the same route as Game of Thrones. People are not going to give a shit.
I
My
don't
God.
think they'll drop the ball.
I
though,
don't think so.
because
Either. They know what they're doing. They've done it from the beginning. They said
Yeah.
from the beginning it's going to be 5 seasons.
and they have their and they wrote their story.
they did right.
They didn't have some old fat piece of shit
Who
have
still
an idea
wanted
of
to
a
do-
story.
I wanted to do side quests instead of the main mission.
Did you
Yeah.
see him in the news recently?
Yeah, I texted him about
George
it the
R.
other
R.
day.
Martin. He's like, "Oh, it's going to
It's
be a
not-
little different than the show."
Yeah.
The show. Yeah,
It's
no
gonna be
shit.
different 'cause
Everybody
the-
hated it.
the
The
show
show-
exists,
the
and
show-
yours doesn't.
The
Yeah.
show ended.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
it's over. Move on. What's that from? It's like Game of Thrones. It's over. Move
oh
on.
my god, what is that?
Well,
It's
we talked about that before, though. I think he did that on purpose. He wanted to see them end the show
See how the fans
to see
reacted.
if the fans liked it, and then he could change it if he wanted to.
He's never gonna finish. He's gonna die.
He's like 90.
For the rest
Isn't
of
he?
my life.
He's like
no,
90.
He's
he probably has the heart of a 90-year-old.
Yeah.
His veins run with mayonnaise.
He looks like he lives in a rancher because if he knows if he lives in a house with stairs,
his-
he's gonna
he can't
die.
manage the steps. He's got one to get up, and that's it. I feel like if he had stairs, he's such a piece of shit. He would have like the chair that
The
rides
acorn.
up the side. Even if he doesn't need it, he just is like, ugh. I feel like he's got like Cheez-It crumbs on him at all times. Like it's just he can't help himself. He wears old sweaters. I can't stand him. And if like for the rest of my life, like Bran the Broken is just gonna make me angry.
all right. This is going to really fucking bother me. I don't know what movie that quote is from. It's over. Move on. It's like Game of Thrones. Move over. It's over. So if you know, please reach out to me.
I'll do some research here too.
I'm Googling it. I can't figure out what it is. But while you guys message that to at previously recorded, we are going to get back into Stranger Things. So, Bob,
I'm listening.
what are your thoughts on this season?
It's early, so like it's fresh. So obviously, we talk about this all the time. Like, new is always everybody's favorite. Like, oh man, this is the best season ever. I don't know about that. I think it's really good, and but like I said before, they all need each other. So this is like a weird show where it's not like I could say this season's great. It's almost like when we talked about the Avengers. This season's great,
Yeah,
but
where you
this
said me
season
and
doesn't
Shane said-
matter.
For me and Shane
Yeah,
said
I
the
said
original
that.
Avengers.
I
and-
said Infinity War was the best, and you guys made the very clever argument that it wouldn't have existed without the original. I
Well,
was just
that's
an
why
idiot
we're
back
that's
then.
why we're a 3 host. You know, we need
Yeah,
each other.
I'm never gonna fucking get the credit I deserve.
Just
for
like
that
Lucas
moment.
needs Max, and Max needs Lucas, and we're running up the hill. You
Yeah,
need
she needs
us.
Kate Bush more than she needs.
You need us to
Lucas.
pull you out of the upside down with
Um,
your Avengers quotes.
Is anybody actually really a fan of that song? I don't like it.
You don't like that
I
song?
like
I
it.
don't like it.
It's everywhere. I
alright.
wish
It's
I wish I
alright.
could get away from it.
Yeah.
It's super overplayed. at
And
this
it's
point.
fucking
Yeah,
like
I
so.
don't
Right
think
now, I
it's-
listen to the radio every day just because it's what I have
Is
in
that
the
on the
van.
radio?
You gotta take your AirPods, man. That's the way
I
to
don't
go.
mind the
I
radio.
do think
Ben
it's-
FM, absolute, just
Bangers.
great hits.
His
Not-
name is pronounced Ben Affleck.
Huh.
Yeah, he's an actor.
You can leave.
That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
I do think it's cool that Stranger Things is bringing back
I like that
songs
they bring
from
back
the
shit.
80s
It's like
and
Guardians.
putting them up to like number 1 on
So
the
is
chart.
But
Umbrella
so like
Academy,
that's
same thing.
on
Great
Q102. These are all Philly-based radio stations that aren't gonna.
Yeah, we
for our global
rec-
listeners, you're not
yeah
gonna
we
know.
record in Idaho, but
But it's on Q102. It's on 104.5. It's on B101
they're
now.
local.
Like, it's
They're
on,
local Hawkins stations. So.
It's on.
They have the Spanish
every-
version on the
Yeah.
radio. I heard that too.
Yeah, they play it on 94.1.
Do you know how that went?
WIP.
You are part Spanish.
I don't know. Trabajador de Hillo. I don't know. Isn't that like working up the hill?
I don't know. It's close.
I don't know. I made that up.
I think,
Alright,
I think the
Shanks
first
is
word you said
canceled.
was a
I
hat.
don't know.
But yeah, I would agree. I think
So
it's
I-
very good.
I think it's like they all tie together. Unlike you hypocrites, I was very
Relax.
excited for this.
Relax.
No, but I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I get really excited for it. And I rewatch the old seasons, and like this is my show. So, and I was very pleased. Like that's the one thing I can always say about Stranger Things. There's never been a season where afterwards I was like, I wish they would have done more.
Yeah.
Even as the season 2, which I think is like the slowest,
That's the slowest.
least
but, like,
interesting season, it
Bob,
still ends very
Bob
good.
is great in that season. Like, you think
R.I.P.
back
You
to
know
that
what's
season.
hilarious
Rest in
about that
peace.
season? That extra episode they added about like the 11
Just
for the
doesn't matter.
for
So
the
that is
spin-offs.
confusing for 8.
Yeah,
Dude, I think.
yeah, for
you
the
think
spin-offs.
8 comes back?
But
No.
so here's
You don't think so
no,
at all?
'cause here's the other thing, right? And you said they had this long mythology. Every
I think that was
Kid.
for spin-offs.
every kid in that laboratory when they do all the flashbacks in season 4 is doing the same power that 11 has.
Maybe she was a different
but
experiment,
but
though.
8 has a different power unless she's just so good that she made people see things.
Well, that's how
But-
she gets out.
But maybe she was a different kind of experiment.
I don't know,
You
but
know,
she has a
maybe-
number, but they all had numbers too.
Maybe Brenner was like, all right, I already have
And
this,
he's just
this
kept them
many
with
doing
numbers?
this. Let's have her do something else.
So is there another?
Because I've always wondered about that too. Like, why is she the only one? Like right when they showed
Well, in
the flashback
theory-
and they were all like moving shit, I was
Yeah.
like, why is 8 the only one that?
I
has a
really
different
think
power?
that was for spin-off. I think that was too, and they saw
But
how
the-
much
but
people
what
fucking
I'm saying,
hated
I
it,
thought
and
That was
then
for a bitchin' outfit.
I think people hated
They
it so
still say
much.
bitching.
Bitchin'.
They do say bitching, but people hated it so
And I don't
much.
understand why. Like, fuck off. Like, because it's
It
not
was-
it's not your characters.
Like-
but you need that for 11 to grow. You
Yes.
need her to like not be this
Yeah.
scared little
I
fucking
was
thing.
I was bored through that storyline, but yes, it was important for 11 to get more confident, to learn to.
I
Well,
just
then she comes
remember-
back and
you
she
know,
fucks up that
Yeah.
Demogorgon.
Yeah.
I
Or
just-
Demodog.
That's one of the coolest scenes in the entire series when she's in
I-
the cabin, like
They're all in the cabin and they don't know what it is, and
Yeah.
she fucking is in the doorway.
I just remember
Throws it through the fucking
flash
window.
mind flare thing.
So that's the Mind Flayer season,
that's
but
when
she fucks up a Demodog.
when the Demodogs
Alright,
are
never mind.
rushing
I thought you
her
were talking about
and
when she's
she's
in the cabin and gets her leg.
because
that's cool too. They're like coming through the wall and she's like
Yeah.
stopping them.
that's in season 3.
That's what. Yeah.
So season 2, that's a really cool scene too.
That's what I thought you.
But
guys
I'm
were talking
saying
about.
when Will is in the shed, they
Mhm.
put him in the shed and they put all the shit up so he can't tell where he is because he's like the spy.
Spy.
And then the phone rings, and he knows that it's the house, so he calls all the Demodogs there, and they're just fucked. And that's when 11 gets back, and she like throws one through the window, and they don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
then
I don't
she's just in the
remember
door.
hating it. I just don't. I remember being like kind of confused. I was like,
It's-
because it was
That
episode
season
8.
also opens with that girl,
Oh yeah, it does.
and
I mean-
they're running from the cops because
Cops.
they just robbed the banker or robbed
it's,
whatever.
It's the worst season, but it's still a pretty good season.
Yeah, they're consistent.
Yeah.
So I really liked this season a lot. I was blown away. I watched Obi-Wan first and kind of regretted that because Stranger Things was so good
Yeah.
and Obi-Wan was kind of a letdown, honestly. But
Obi-Wan was still just one episode. Like by
Yeah,
the next
that was
Obi,
two.
the
The
first
first
day
two.
they put
The
out 2.
Yeah.
But I really, really liked this. I loved this season. I thought it was fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat every single episode. There was not a single episode I didn't really care for. There was, I think, like episode 5 was the only one I was like, this is kind of slower. But
There
it
was
all
one in the
building.
first chunk that
Yeah.
was like
I think it was right before.
It was
the
right
last
before
episode.
Max went up
Yeah.
for the first time.
that episode.
I think it was the episode,
episode before that.
The episode before or after that was the one that me and Audrey were like, I don't know.
The
But
only thing I think I would nitpick about this season, if I would needed to find something I didn't like, the jock basketball player.
fucking
was-
hated
But you're
it.
supposed to hate him,
Yep.
but he looks like he's 30. Like
Yeah.
Steve is 30,
Yeah.
but he doesn't look that old.
He
like,
doesn't look
he
like
looks.
Steve isn't also playing a
I
senior.
I legitimately looked on IMDb because he looks so much like the guy who plays Hangman or whatever in
Oh,
Maverick
yeah.
that like I was like, is this the same guy? Is he fucking
Collins
kinda
is
Kind
a-
same
of, kind
look?
of
Glenn
like frat
Powell.
boy face.
Glenn Powell, but yeah, no, but it's a different actor. But he just looks so. I don't even know that he is that old. Like I just didn't like that
Yeah.
character or actor.
We talked about it before the recording a little bit. Can we talk about his scene where he gets ripped in half?
Yeah, what a shitty death.
Don't
yeah.
acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So I said that
Blinking, you miss it.
it was very
Fuck
much.
him now, I'm all right with
that.
oh, hey, let's just sweep this storyline under the
The,
rug.
You know what
I'm
else we
with
can
that.
sweep under the rug? The fact that the other basketball player is outside beating up an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Fucking
I'll break your arm.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
But
Relax.
the characters this season really progressed in a really, really nice way. The scope of this show, like I would have loved to have seen this entire show in a theater. Like this would have been fucking awesome. Just like when Game of Thrones back in the day, you wanted to watch it on the biggest screen possible.
Episode 7 and episode 9 would have been incredible
Yeah, dude, it was just really
on-
fucking good storytelling. And something that I really truly forgot, and I'm like, okay, shit, the fucking Duffer Brothers know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And in terms of the scope, this is one of the highest, like most expensive TV shows ever made. Its production budget was around $270 million, and consisted mainly of practical effects. So that stuff's not really spent
It's
on.
like 30 million an episode, which Obi-Wan was 25 million an episode.
Well, that's what the Marvel Studios and the Disney Plus, they're each given a budget of 25 million an
Okay.
episode. So the Duffer, Vecna would take 7 hours to get a new costume. Um,
Did you guys see the meme where it's like him with Starbucks and everybody's like ordering
Yeah,
the Vecna
yeah.
at like, dude, you guys are like way too into this.
and I also really enjoyed the different tones the season had, where you had 3 different things going on. You had the Russian prison movie. You had the horror elements back in Hawkins, and then you had the stoner action comedy with Argyle.
They
and
did
Laura.
that in season 2 also, where you had 11 was doing her own thing, and then everyone else was
I-
doing their thing.
The only complaint I think I have is I hate when they take 11 away from.
They do it a lot.
I don't like
Yeah.
when they split them up. I understand why,
Yeah,
and
they do it a
this whole
lot.
season I wasn't like, "God, get back to them," but I'm like, when they're all together, I'm like, fuck, man, I missed this.
I didn't care for the California stuff this season.
No, it
like,
wasn't
not
great.
like I didn't like it, but like when they were there, I'm like, all right, get back to Hawkins. Like I
So-
want to fucking know.
I don't remember who I talked about this with. Was it us? We talked about when 11 beats up Mike's bullies.
Yeah, it
He's
was
all
us.
for it.
And then she fucking cracks that
When
girl
she
in the
beats
skull,
up
which is
her
sick.
bullies,
Oh yeah,
He's
that
like, what
bitch,
did you do?
That bitch fucking deserved
Yeah,
it.
I wish she got Vecna'd.
Yeah.
Mike's only on her side when she.
But she deserved it. That's all I'm saying. She was a bitch.
I wouldn't hit her, but I would have cheered 11 on.
Oh yeah, me too. I
Oh, it
want.
was fucking
She
sweet.
made fun of her
Also-
project. Fuck that. That teacher was awful.
Also, the people at that fucking roller skating, they let them fuck with her.
Yeah.
Plus,
Like, where's
what's
the
up with
where's
that
the
teacher?
adults?
Yeah. They're just fucking like, oh, I thought we were supposed. And like, that girl's clearly a bitch. I would have been like, fucking shut
Yeah,
up,
shut-
Jan.
shut
I like
I
how
don't
we're
remember her name.
We're
but,
going
like,
off about like the roller derby place, but then they go to a gun shop. They're like 14 years old buying shotguns and grenades and like.
Yeah, but
propane.
that's because there's a murderer on the loose.
And
Yeah,
they
but
were
still,
they were
like,
in a different town too.
Nancy and Steve are over 18.
Yeah, but they didn't buy that much stuff.
Nancy was fucking.
Erica was wheeling a shotgun at one point.
Oh yeah, actually, it was funny though. So the diorama. Let's kind of start to get into the episode. So the diorama in episode 1 that Will had, which is the spoiler-filled theme. I'm pretty sure Will is going to come out as being in love with Mike.
don't think
It's
so.
kind of alluded to in this
Shanks
episode.
doesn't believe this.
I don't think so.
Why it's the paint? Why does he have the painting and take it to the airport?
I think he's Vecna.
But yeah, but none,
I
that
think
only
he's Harry. It's
that-
a Harry
I think he's like
Potter
Harry
style.
I
Potter.
know, but that only fits for that one Jonathan conversation. Every other aspect of him behaving that way has nothing to do
I
with
think it was a
Vecna.
double entendre. Honestly, it was that he
Like,
was.
why he takes-
Jonathan
so-
was alluding to
You're not
seeing
convincing me.
seeing him struggle with Mike, but then also it could be alluding to the future for
So
Will.
11 in the first episode talks about how Will's been working on a painting, but he won't let anybody see it. He takes the painting to the airport, but then chooses not to show Mike that painting. And then he's super awkward when
And
Mike
says it was
and
Kim-
11
and said
are
Elle
together.
commissioned
and
it
then
for
he
him.
says that she had him draw it, which she didn't, clearly. And he says,
starts
like, hey,
crying.
you're the one that holds us all together. She needs you.
You're
But
the
he's
heart.
talking about himself,
Yeah.
clearly.
I had one thing to.
Then why
How-
did he start fucking crying, Shanks?
Well,
How
that's,
is-
that's all he does.
How
first
does
of all.
Mike not notice he's sobbing next to him?
What a shitty friend.
Openly sobbing,
What a shitty friend.
and Mike just
At
doesn't
this point,
care.
aside from the speech he gives 11 when she's in the tub, which I was like, all right, this is actually a really good Mike moment. Mike's my least favorite character. On the show.
I loved Mike in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He once he came all about dating Elle.
Season 3, he gets worse.
Yeah.
When this dude's been fucking through hell and back. All he wants to do is play a little D&D, and he's like, what do you think, we're just gonna do this forever? Like, no, we're gonna go hang out with our girlfriends. And I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Even Lucas is like, what? Well, I don't really want to hang out with Max that much. Like,
yeah, we can have.
it's just really Mike.
We can
yeah,
play.
yeah, we can play. I'm down to hang with the boys.
Lucas
Where's
is
Pat?
like-
Where's Pat at? We want to hang with the boys.
When I got the boys tonight, he's like,
So anyway, Will's diorama was of a gay man. I forget the name of the guy.
So he's
He
the
was
guy.
openly gay.
Yeah, but he's so that's true. But he's also the guy who basically invented the internet
Oh really?
and and computers or whatever
Okay.
it is. So
'Cause
like,
Noah
it's a very technological.
Noah
like,
Schnapp pointed that out. He's like, well, if you didn't know this, that he was gay. So Excuse me.
so
RP
his
cut that.
hero project.
I think
Yeah,
Will's gonna die.
He's
I
fucking
think
good.
I think he knows he's gonna
I
die.
I think he
has
needs to die.
I
It's
don't.
gonna
I don't think
be-
it's got anything to do with him.
It's
But
gonna
also,
be-
I
like,
feel like it's not fair to him if he does though,
He
because
has-
his character hasn't done shit for like 3 seasons.
I know, but
He's
that's
been-
well, so he's gonna because
he's been the pawn.
RP.
Yeah,
Shanks
yeah.
thinks that he is
And
like a
season 1. He sacrifices himself for the group in the game, right? So
In the
that
very
makes me
first
think.
and he didn't have to do that. He says.
Yes.
Like yeah.
So it makes me think that he just knows
Alan
in the end
Turing,
he's
by the
going to
way,
have
so
to
that's-
die,
He's fucked up.
and he's more upset that he's like, I want to do this and I want to spend time with my friends, but I know I'm going to die. So
for all the shit Will's
but
been
also-
through too. He's really held together and should be more fucked up. And I don't think Noah Schnapp's the best actor, but I did like him this season as Will.
do you think he's upset that Lucas has a sweet haircut and then he's got a bowl cut?
Lucas does have a sweet?
But also like let's say
they
he
do
knows,
him no fucking favor.
The high top fucks.
I said that.
fucks.
he knows he's gonna die. You're saying, but then that Jonathan conversation doesn't make sense by that logic. Like I'm always gonna love you no matter who
Okay.
what you're doing or who you are or whatever.
Who's in favor of the Jonathan logic was talking about, I know you're gay,
Yeah.
I know you love Mike, and I know what you're going through. That's what I
I'm
think.
always
That's
gonna be
what
your
you
brother. I'm
think.
always gonna love you regardless. I know that I don't know that he's saying I know that you're gay, but I know that there's something that you're not telling everybody,
and there's
you
a
can tell
struggle
everybody if you
going
need
on.
to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I read it. Is that how you saw it too?
Yes,
I
but
think
I
that's
could
what they're
also
playing
see
it
it as
Shanks was like the Lego up
So,
the
all right,
nose.
so tell me,
But-
but I'm saying
Hold on,
you
hold
just
on.
said because before you go, Shane, Shanks just said that he's gonna have to sacrifice himself. What that doesn't change him. That he's dead then. Even if you're not here, I'll always love you. It doesn't matter who you are. So like your logic doesn't check out.
I just
is what
think
I'm
they're
getting at.
playing it as
But I'm saying
They're
what you're
making you think.
what you're reading into the conversation doesn't match what you're saying is going to happen to Will either.
You know what? We can find out in 2024.
yeah,
because
it's still
he
a long
also
time.
mentions how he can still feel Vecna inside of him.
And he does it at the end.
So it could also be he knows something that he's not ready to talk about yet, and that's what
Which
Jonathan's
is a
picking
double,
up on.
which is kind of why I said double entendre. But it's after
But
he
it doesn't have to be
notices-
anything related to Mike. It could be
But
he
it's
knows
stri-
something else bigger is coming, and he's not saying it because he's.
But it's
afraid.
also strictly after they make you see him seeing Will bawling his eyes out in the back of the van. Now, if he did this in episode 2, and then that happens, okay, sure.
What if Will has to kill 11 to end it all?
like he knows he has to do it. Is
He's
that
got
what
to
you're saying?
kill her to shut the portals to the upside down.
Well, then they all have to be on board with that.
But I'm saying that's what he's upset about
Or
because
what
he
if he
knows
does?
he's got to kill her.
What if he does kill her?
I
But I'm
always-
saying like he
Like,
had in
under
order
the
to save
control.
everybody, he's got to kill 11.
Because I do think, because at the end of the episode, at the end of the finale, he grabs his neck because he can feel the mind flayer coming back. So he's definitely going to be an integral part of season
Yeah, I
5,
think
and they're
he's
all
gonna
going to
be
be
a
back
character.
together again. They
in
said
Hawkins.
they said it's
you
gonna
said
be in
there was going to
Hawkins.
be a time jump.
they did say
They're
there was going to
talking
be.
about it.
How? Like that's if you're going to do season
I don't-
5, in my opinion, you got to pick up basically in that scene when
That-
season 4 stops.
So that's what the Duffer brothers
there's a
said
fucking hole in
I don't
Hawkins.
think
to
so, I know.
to address the
age gap.
age gap of the actors. I think they should just ignore it. People know what it is.
Unless they pick up.
She's supposed to be. There's all supposed to be 13.
I thought it was going to
Nah,
be
they're
something
still
with
freshmen
the
in high
date.
school, so they'd be 14, 15
but hold
years
on,
old.
maybe
Because I remember Billy Bobby Brown was like
Millie Bobby
freaking
Brown's
out.
18.
Yeah.
She's younger, I
Yeah.
think,
Well,
because
well, what if they pick up? It's like a year or two later. They're addressing the age gap, but the
I think it
upside
would-
down has been running rampant through Hawkins.
I'm just saying
I
you're
think
gonna
that's
have
fucking
a hole
dumb.
to the
I
upside
think it's
down
fucking
for
dumb.
2 years.
I think it's dumb. Like I understand why they would
Vecna's just
want it,
chilling.
They
in the
can
back
work
for
it
2
though
years.
because I watched
or
the show,
Vecna's not. Maybe they've been battling this entire time, but now Vecna's finally.
I watched
back.
this show on Hulu called The Strain. It's basically like a retelling of like vampire apocalypse took over the world. They do a time jump between 2 and 3, and basically 2 is like they start taking over, and then 3 is like the whole world is run by vampires.
Okay.
It could be like season 5 is going to open up like the upside down Vecna is like ruling the entire world, and they're all like subjugated.
I don't think I'd like that though. Like
I
the
don't think
whole-
I would
the
either,
whole
but
thing that they've been doing for
You
4
have to explain
seasons
why
is
they all look
not-
35 now.
But also,
They're gonna
it's-
look. Millie Bobby Brown's gonna look 20
Well,
because
one,
she's 20.
it's,
I can
it's
fucking live with
TV.
it.
This is the thing with kids. But also, it's dumb. It's just dumb. It's
But Riverdale, those guys are like fucking 34, and they've been playing juniors in high school for 6 seasons.
We'll see if
and
they
nobody bats a
actually-
fucking eye. And then the fucking Stranger
Well,
Things,
no
they
one's
get a little
watch-
too old.
no one's
everyone's
watching
like,
that show.
That's also true. But like every teen fucking
What
drama
they could
show.
do,
You
what
have
they
a bunch
could
of
do is like
20-year-olds.
solve part A of the equation in the beginning,
I-
and then do a time jump.
I think it's
Slut.
got to deal with they go back in the upside down and they realize the date ends, the day will disappears. So November 6th, 1983 or something like that. I think they had to. They're trying to hint like you have
It's
to go
85.
back. Is it 85?
85 or 86.
Something like that. I think it's more you have to go back to the first season and solve the puzzle there. I think that's what they're hinting at. I don't think there's time travel. It doesn't make sense.
If you go back to the first season, they're gonna look even younger.
Yeah, I know, but
Well, they
That
did that
doesn't-
this
that
year.
doesn't-
but
They
I
did
don't
that
mean
well.
like they are actually going back to that time. I mean they have to think back to that time. So I'm thinking they're like, all right, we have to figure out what's up. That's why I keep going back to Will. I think it's something to do with Will.
That's fine. I
Well, the
just
way
don't
they
understand
ended
your
makes you.
argument with the
Will's going to
Johnson.
be an integral part.
That's
It's
what
going to be.
I mean.
It's going to
I
be
think
Will
it
and
goes back
11.
to that date. He disappears. It's what happened on that date is what's going to solve the end.
So we could sit here and speculate about season 5 forever. So we're not going to do that. And we are already an hour in, and I think we should start getting into our favorite bits of the season, what we really liked, what you guys want to talk about. And
I
I'll
want to talk about speculation for season 5. And you just shut it down.
I did just shut it down because we could do it forever. And maybe one of your favorite theories going forward. I think we all kind of share the same theory that we think is the awesome. So I'll go first. What the thing I like the most this season, besides I think the obvious, is Steve and Robin and Dustin. Like that triangle relationship is my favorite. The thing I liked the most this season was Eddie Munson. He was fucking phenomenal, and his demise was truly heartbreaking. But it had to happen
It was
because there's no way they could prove him innocent. So
Yeah.
he had to die.
Yeah.
it was especially heartbreaking because Dustin is a very good actor.
Yeah, he's good.
He's really good.
That
Yeah.
scene fucking sucked.
I cried multiple times during the finale.
That scene,
I have no problem admitting
I really
that.
didn't like
No,
that scene
God,
of,
no.
of
Shed a tear.
Dustin running
Shed a
to
tear
him.
multiple times during the
I
finale.
almost
And
like
then they had the
fucking-
final fuck you of Dustin with Eddie's uncle.
Eddie's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That got me.
Dustin's probably the best actor out of
Yeah.
all the
He's
kids.
amazing.
Lucas
Max
Lucas
is really good.
Lucas had a really good season too. I actually think.
Well,
Max
Dustin's-
is
Max
is
at the
phenomenal this
graveyard,
season.
then Max with Lucas.
Max is
Max
great.
was really
Max
good.
puts
this
me up when
season.
she's like, I don't want to die yet. I'm not ready. I'm like,
Yeah.
That was a good. Yeah, that was a
So,
really
so
good.
that's
Dude, Lucas too.
oh yeah, he was
That whole
yeah.
scene with Lucas.
With the
Yeah.
gun.
You know when he calls to Erica when she's basically dead, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Erica, help!" He fucking improvised that.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't in any of the scenes.
So
Who's Erica? His sister?
His
His
sister.
sister, yeah.
was
Max,
dead?
He tells her to
No.
go call an ambulance.
Oh.
and then
Because
he's
Max is
cradling
dead in
Max.
his
Oh,
hand.
wait, he's
and he goes,
cradling
he's
Max.
crying. He goes, "Erica, help!" He improvised that line.
But so no, so Max.
Are you crying?
No, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I was going to talk about. Just now. I
But
forgot.
that's Eddie Munson was my favorite. There was no really low point of this season. I think it was 5 stars across the board, every single episode, even the slow parts. But everything was fucking amazing, and it really was good. And this is Pinnacle TV, and I think if they top it off really well in season 5, it'll be one of the top shows ever made.
I think this is the best
consistent.
content of 2022. At this point.
I would agree.
That's saying a lot because we've gotten a lot of content.
I'm
I
saying,
don't know
like,
what
movie,
would be-
TV
I
wise,
don't
I
think
agree
this
with
is
you,
my favorite
but
thing
that's
been
really saying
released.
a lot.
I don't
Hands
know
down.
what would be better.
Well, you really enjoyed everything.
When did
I did.
When did
Everywhere
the
all at
Hawkeye show
once.
come out?
TV that
December.
December.
This
TV.
tops Hawkeye for me too.
But I'm saying the only thing I would say would come close to this is the Hawkeye show.
That
you
was-
guys
it was
were- you
Christmas,
did-
though.
I'm a big fan. of
I
that
did
show.
like Hawkeye a lot.
Big fan of it.
We're not going to talk about Marvel. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yes, because it was
Top Gun Maverick.
different.
Different. This be Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, well, I think
RP.
it's very unfair to do TV
And movies.
and movies
I
because they're
just-
different. We have more than 10 hours.
This is hands down the best TV show to come out this year.
One, yeah. One episode
That's
is
why I'm
longer
kind
than
of
all of
doing
Top
it.
Gun Maverick. So it's like hard.
Yeah.
So I can't justify an answer to that. Best TV, absolutely, hands down, absolutely, and probably better if we like things up. Maybe not because Everything Everywhere All at Once was super original, and I really like that. Where this is the 4th season.
Yeah, it's established. It's
Yeah,
easier to
so
kinda
it's
jump
easier to
into.
be fucking really good. But yeah, hands down for sure. And this is a reason alone to keep Netflix. Why those reasons start to diminish.
One of the only reasons at this point.
What I was gonna say,
Umbrella
I
Academy.
completely forgot what I was gonna say. Eddie Munson dying
Mhm.
was almost like a relief to me.
Yeah.
At the
yeah.
same time, because like Noah Schnapp is awful. He's like the Tom Holland of Stranger Things, where he just like spoils things without realizing.
Oh yeah, fucking asshole. He tweeted out the day season 2 came out,
Or
part 2 came out. He's just like, can't wait for you all to see that specific death.
So
And I'm like,
he
you
said it
fucking
on,
asshole.
He said it on like TV, like late night shows and stuff too. He's like, oh yeah, somebody's gonna die. You guys know there's gonna be a bad death.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, somebody's gonna die. Who's gonna die? And then I thought it was Max,
So did I.
and I'm like, fuck.
So
I'll take Eddie over Max.
And I told
frankly.
you guys this, but you know how like when you're watching something, you get like anxious and like you may just like put your hands up in the air, like, oh my god, like no, like I did that for the scene with Max because this season really made me
When
grow
her,
attached
like-
to her. Like,
When
her
the
bones
bones
snap.
start snapping,
When
I was like,
he's-
no, you don't fucking do this.
when
It was like
he's-
me talking to the Duffer Brothers, like in
Yeah.
my house.
When
Like,
he's-
you're not gonna fucking do
was
this.
Max goes up. I'm like, she's up there for a little bit. I'm like, all right, 11, stop fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, beat this dude's ass and let's go. And then
And-
her bones started snapping. And I sat up. I was like, don't fucking do this.
The
to me.
one arm goes. Shane's like, she can come back from that. She's
Yeah.
fine.
That's how I was-
Then
I
the
was like,
leg
oh,
goes.
it's
She's
just-
like, he's like, oh, I don't
It's just a broken
know.
arm. It's just a broken arm.
It's
and
a
then
it's
her
a it's a
eyes-
fracture. It's just a fracture.
And then she was like,
and when he stepped on her tape, because fuck that, he stepped on her
Fuck, yeah, that
headphones.
dude
Fuck
fucking
that guy.
sucked.
So I'm glad he got split in half. Fuck that guy. But let's head
She was
over.
also pretty tied down though. I don't know that Kate Bush could have saved her in
I
that
don't know.
circumstance.
I told you guys earlier that when he gets split, it's the same thing like when he said earlier when he Lucas was hungover and he's like, yeah, it feels like you're getting split in two.
Mm-hmm.
But Max has another scene like that too, where the first time they actually meet, she says, "Oh, you're presumptuous," and that's the same line she says when Lucas asks Max, "Is that
Am I in that memory?
Yeah, it's the first thing she says to them.
How
So I
about
thought it was
that?
Cool.
They
Yeah,
tie
that's
things
cool.
together.
Yeah, they're really
well.
good at it.
Shanks, what about you? What was your favorite moments?
Dude, my
Any
favorite-
low moment?
Was the Murray in the plane scene, man?
Oh fuck!
Dude,
Fuck,
Mary was
dude,
wild in that
dude,
play.
I loved it.
Mary was fantastic.
My
this
fingers
season.
are like knives.
My fist. Because when he started to fight him, I was like, "There's no fucking way
Dude,
he's
and
gonna
then he-
actually be
then
good."
He just goes ham.
Because then the
Well, they said he was like a black belt now, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So like they did justify it.
Oh, it was 100% justified, but you're expecting him to still be
Yeah.
bad. But that was funny. He opens up with him like
Yeah.
icing, and then he makes the fucking drink and the whatever. He was probably what I really liked about that whole situation was the entire time. How the fuck are they gonna get out of this?
Oh yeah.
The entire
And then the plane
time.
crashed. I'm like, well, how the hell are they gonna get out of there?
The
And then
entire
I was like,
time.
oh.
All right, how the fuck are they gonna get out of the prison? How the fuck are they gonna get it in the prison? The
Prison
entire
stuff
time.
was. I mean,
Can we take a minute to talk about Enzo?
Enzo was a great guy.
Fucking love Enzo.
Great guy.
Dude, I didn't
awful
realize
man.
who I knew him from, and then I was like,
Hey, he's the man
oh,
with no face.
Yeah, it
Or
took
man
me
with no
forever
name.
to figure it out.
I fucking love Enzo.
Oh, he's Jock and Hagar? I did
Yeah,
not
Jock
figure
and-
that
Jock
out
and
until
Hagar.
just now.
A man has. That's why I said to Audrey, I was like, a man has no fear.
His hair is too short.
man does not
That's
escape
getting
from-
clicked
from
until
Russian
just now.
prison. He's the best.
I give it
I did like Yuri,
10
too.
to 1 knots.
Yuri's the best.
Dude, you're so funny.
Yeah, Yuri was a piece of
Yori
shit,
is a
though.
good man.
Yeah.
All right, who's a
Kakinka.
who's a worse one season introduced, you love them, and then they're out? Bob, who's the Russian guy from season 3?
Alexei.
Alexi, or Eddie?
Eddie's the worst.
I think Bob had a worse death
But
though.
No,
the
but I'm
thing
saying
is-
like who are you
there's no
more
reason for
attached to?
Bob.
You're more attached to Eddie than Bob.
I am
think.
more attached to Eddie, but Winona Ryder really sold that death for
Well,
Bob.
and Bob has a really good scene with Will in the car when he's like, I'm
Stand
not
up for the
afraid of
boys.
the clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
or,
thing with
Plus, it's fucking Sean Astin.
Absolutely.
Well, the problem with
and then him figuring out the map in the house is sweet.
the biggest heartbreak with
That's one
Eddie
of the
was
bigger
that
scenes.
he was not in the wrong all season.
Yeah,
Eddie
and-
didn't do anything. And then also, like you said, Eddie and Dustin, like Gaten Maserano, or I forget. I can't
Maserati.
Maserati, yeah, Gaten Mustang. He he's just a good actor.
Yeah.
So like any scene that he's
Yeah,
in, with,
he-
like that, he makes Steve better. He makes Robin better
Mhm.
because he's a good actor.
Yeah.
So I think that makes
Eddie's
Eddie a
was-
better character. So
and-
you connect with him
Yeah.
because you love Dustin. So it's like,
And even when I got goosebumps talking about it now, when he's like, "I'm going to be the hero."
yeah,
Like I'm not
He's like-
running.
What was it after he was bit by the bats? Right, where he was like, "I didn't run this time." I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, dude."
I know. It's so sad.
so my
So thing you didn't like about this season?
Yeah, Eddie fucking dying.
Yeah.
yeah. No, like not even the death scenes. Just
well, rank your one-off deaths real fast. Eddie, Bob, Alexi.
Yeah, I digress from
Is
that.
that
I-
the list?
yeah, I do it in that
Which
order.
it's that yes, but that's a tough list because I do love Alexi. but he's still my
Alexi's
least-
death could be the worst
Yeah.
of all three of them because he's like nobody. He doesn't even speak English. He's just kind of there. But then he's just having so much fun at that
God,
fair.
God,
he's having.
God damn it, he loves ice.
He's
He
like
loves
super
ice,
happy. Yeah. But no, he's like he plays the dark game and he wins and he's like super happy to show Murray that he won the dark game. He just fucking gets like shot in the back.
It sucks,
Fuck,
man.
Benny?
When I watch,
You forgot about Benny.
fuck
Benny
Benny,
was-
dude.
Oh, come on. He can make some burgers.
So when I watch
He
season
just fucking
3,
shoved you off.
yeah, I don't care about him. When I watch season 3 again, I texted RP or I might have texted the group. I forget when Alexi died, and I was like, "Fuck, I forgot how much it sucked when Alexi died." Like Barb is the one that no one cares
Ah,
about.
fuck Barb.
Anymore.
But I'm just saying, like all the people who died.
No, people
pe-
pretended to care
people
about
were
Barb.
up in arms. Oh, justice
Barb.
for Barb. Fuck Barb. Bob, Alexi, Eddie.
I'm not gonna lie. When Vecna went into Nancy's mind, I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with Nancy? There's nothing wrong with her. She lives a great." Oh, I forgot about
Yeah.
Barb.
She was getting plowed while Barb was dying.
I
Fucking
do love
Steve,
Nancy
he's
Wheeler.
a dirty dog. That
Yes.
guy.
How about Steve was great this season. Steve's great every season, but him telling the whole thing with
Winnebago.
but
and
he's
the-
like, oh, I have great practice with the kids and,
Yeah,
and wanting all
yeah.
those kids and wanting it with her, which kind of scumbag
I don't-
move. She has a
I don't
boyfriend.
think anything
They're not
tops.
happy.
Nothing tops season 3. Single mom of 6. Steve. He's the best.
Yeah, that was great.
I like Steve and Dustin.
Yeah, their
When he-
relationship.
When he says something about his teeth, he's like, "Oh, I was too far." And Dustin's like, "It was too far, man." That scene, I was cracking up at.
What else? What else?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Shane, what's your favorite?
Argyle.
Shane, what's your favorite?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Who are we talking about? Who has the best hair? Who are we talking about?
Me.
It would have been
Oh.
Steve and Eddie.
Lucas. The only one with a better haircut than Lucas is Argyle.
Steve.
I fucking love
Steve's
it.
got the best hair on the show.
Argyle,
Yeah,
great.
he's not a
Argyle
haircut.
can grow his hair long.
I guess
Big
neither is
whoop
Argyle.
fucking do.
It's fucking
I think
silken,
that's
dude.
Actually, Steve's like I think that's actually
It is.
The
Yeah.
guy's
Eddie's
hair.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's but Steve's hair and the guy who plays
Yeah.
Argyle, that's his
But
hair
it's
too.
not Eddie's hair. It was a wig.
Yeah, he was a wig.
Best scene, obviously, when he's doing the fucking guitar solo. I fucking love that scene.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it
here's
was
my
awesome.
question, and I'll kind of just
Metallica fucking love that
What's,
too.
Did
Yeah.
they like it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
they're all about
So
it.
what's your top music montage from this season? So just to kind of run through some
Well-
of them, you have Separate Ways in the Winnebago.
100%.
You have
They
you
also
have
play
Metallica. You have Kate Bush when Max is running in the first part 1 when she's getting out of the
That is a
Upside
good
Down.
one.
and when they
You
steal
also
the
have
car
the Kate Bush
remix.
with Stranger Things music underneath when they're kind of all like starting to get ready to fight. And then you have what song was that? CCR that
It
was
was
playing
CCR,
Oh,
yeah.
for when they steal the Winnebago.
Bamboo Rising, I think.
Yeah.
No,
What
they-
was your
Oh yeah.
What was your top
Uh,
music?
Round the
montage?
Bend.
Mine was 100% Separate Ways. That was so
The
fucking
Separate Ways
cool.
song
the
was sick.
slow one.
Yeah.
I like just finished it when you did, and I was like, that gave me goosebumps, and I was like, me and Audra were literally just talking about it. I was like, that was so fucking cool. Like the way that the slowness
Like
of
the
that
Eddie
song.
scene was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but
It was
that
cool.
Separate Ways scene, and then I like the slow Kate Bush one with like the Stranger Things music underneath.
I don't remember that.
I'll find it after the show. And
I don't remember any.
What
of
about
these.
you guys?
I don't, except for the Metallica one, I don't remember any of these.
So Separate Ways
With,
is at the
Victor
end
Creel's,
of
like,
episode 8
What's the dad?
when they're all going their separate ways, where Max, Lucas, and his
They're in
sister
the
at the
Winnebago.
house.
Oh, right.
Well, they make the plan and they're getting ready to like
Yeah.
commit.
It's
to
so
the plan.
fucking
They
cool.
played this like slow version.
That's also
of
my
Separate
go-to
Ways.
karaoke song.
I'm a
but-
big.
I was
fan of
just
that
reminded, it was really cool how they were using Erica to give the signals that, like,
Mhm.
phase 1,
Oh, yeah.
phase
Yeah.
2, phase 8. That was really... Because I forgot that they could, like, communicate.
through the
Yeah.
light.
The light.
Yeah, but, like, also, when you're standing where they are in the Upside Down, they can hear you.
So much just happened this season that made me forget that. Like a lot happened this season.
Yeah.
What I can't think of.
What
I
about
know
you,
the-
Shanks?
The
What was your-
song,
Yeah.
The Victor Creel song you're
Victor
talking
Creel
about
song.
is like the old.
Old school. It's
No,
like
yeah, it's
like Rosemary Clooney or
do
something.
do
like-
do do. It's
I did like the police song too. That was in the during the ball. They
when they
play
were
it,
when they were
and the
in
balloons are
Vecna's
popping.
ball, yeah,
and the balloons are popping. Every breath you take.
Every breath you take.
Yeah, I was like, and then it switches and it's that song. I was like, oh.
I actually like the Victor Creel part a lot.
Dream a little dream of me. Is
that's
Ella
it. That's
Fitzgerald.
yep. That's it.
And
Victor
Nancy,
Creel
And
was
then
Nancy-
that was on another show right after that. Umbrella Academy, I think.
Yeah.
Used it in an episode too.
talk about show with great
And I
music.
watched them both like back to back. I don't think it was Umbrella Academy actually. Now I'm thinking about it.
I don't know.
So I was watching them both around the same time.
What would have had to been either Umbrella Academy or The Boys.
It wasn't the boys.
I don't know what else it was on. I'll look it
Um,
up. It was on another
But,
show that I was watching. around
Nancy
the
and
same time.
Robin interviewing Victor Creel was really
That was cool.
I like that.
They were a very nice tag team. Once
So-
they finally started to like each other,
Was.
love that.
You don't like them two together?
No, I was just saying that Nancy and Robin tag team.
Oh, I love it. Finding out that she was Uma
You
Thurman's
remember
daughter.
your dream from
Yeah.
last night?
Yeah.
It's
She's-
Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke, right?
Yeah, I
What
love.
a fucking duo.
I love Uma Thurman, and I'm like, the wonder why I'm so fucking attracted to Robin. I'm like,
She's not attracted to you, dude.
she's not. No, she's
I honestly
not.
think
Nobody
she
is.
looks more like Ethan Hawke,
Apparently-
which explains why I'm so attracted to her.
Apparently, my wife isn't even attracted to me. But
But
I think you look great, bud.
thank
When-
you.
so-
I needed that. I needed that.
I'm gonna change it. One of my favorite scenes was Robin and stop
I'm
fucking
crying.
was Robin and Nancy interviewing Victor Creel.
Yeah, you already said that.
Mainly because I got so excited because it was Robert Englund who is
He's
the
from the
original Freddy
UK.
He's original
Go on.
original Freddy Krueger.
You sound like y'all from England.
I got super excited when I saw that he was.
Yeah,
the-
it was cool. He
was the
tweeted.
actor.
He
And
tweeted
Vecna
out.
was basically Freddy Krueger.
So I had
Pretty
that.
much,
what you said.
pretty much.
Not that it's a spoiler, but I had it. He tweeted it out. It was like, have you heard about this Robert Creel? And so he gave it away.
I think I like the last scene from from part 1. Like the one that I watched at your house
Yeah.
on the edge of my seat.
So-
That was a good
that where
one.
everything was tied together, so it was like when Nancy was learning about what do they call him?
One. Oh, his name was Henry.
What were there like
one Henry Vecna,
one
whatever.
Hen- one
yeah,
Henry
like they
Vecna,
call him
yeah.
everything.
So I thought Dr. Brenner was dead. Was he? Do you guys remember
They
that?
don't show him
No.
die.
They
gets
showed him
attacked.
But he
kind
hasn't
of
been back
dying.
since season 2, correct?
Season
Wasn't he-
1.
wasn't he bitten
season
by a-
2, he's in, but he's not actually
It's
there.
flashbacks.
What happened? Wasn't he bitten?
He's in 11
Uh,
season because 8 wants her to kill the guy.
But wasn't he bitten?
So
He was
he-
bitten by a demodog or something, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
when they're in
Something
the
like that?
library.
When they're in
Every
when
time
they're
you
in the
say
hit school.
Demodog, it just makes
Yeah.
me think of Doug Dimmadome, Homer of the Dimsdale
The
Dimmadome.
Dimsdale Dimmadome. No, he gets
attacked,
hurt
but they don't show him.
when they're in the school, but they don't show him die. So then it's always been there that like he's still around. And then season 2, Matthew Modine is back, but it's like Brenner's not actually in any scenes where it's like he's interacting with the characters. It's just he like 8 makes 11 see him because she uses people's fears to like, and that's who 11 is afraid of.
So I thought that he was back, but I had no fucking time for him. Fuck that dude. I hate him.
Papa.
Lynch loves Senator Trashbag. Cut.
Okay.
Senator Trashbag loves Dr. Brenner.
Really?
He thinks because he loves scumbags.
He is a scumbag. And then Paul Reiser too.
Paul Reiser, Dr. Owens.
Dr. Owens, I forgot about
Big
him,
Dr.
too.
Owens fan. I'm hoping he survives somehow.
Anything else you guys want to talk about with the season that we haven't gotten to just yet?
This season?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I thought it was cool they did all the horror movie like nods.
Well, so they said
There's
that
a lot of
they,
80s
Dude, there's
nostalgia
so
nods.
many.
they leaned into it. They said because they pitched the show originally as Goonies and E.T. And they
Mhm.
said, so we no longer
Absolutely.
have kids, so we're going to lean into the horror
it
genre
was-
of
it-
it all. And so they really
This-
did. They did a
and
fantastic
honestly,
job.
This
It
season
scary.
was genuinely terrifying.
Yeah.
And honestly, season 1, the thing that I think got me into Stranger Things was I watched the first episode, and I think my initial reaction was like, it feels like watching an old Spielberg movie. So like they did their job with
Yeah.
Goonies and E.T., and they do it whatever they want to do. I feel like they do well.
Yep.
All right, I
And
got a
Sean
good ender.
Levy, is that Levy?
Levy.
Sean Levy, yeah.
He's the producer. Right?
He directs some episodes too.
Okay.
And then there's another guy who directed 2 episodes this season, and his name's Nimrod, and that's funny to me.
He probably directed.
Hey
two
Nimrod.
episodes.
Me? No, the other Nimrod.
I'm sure it's pronounced differently than that, but it's spelled Nimrod, so that's your problem, bro.
I got a good ender. It's something me and Shanks talked about for a little bit. Your most embarrassing song that is going to bring you
Yes.
back from Vecna.
So before we get to that, Gaten Matazzaro was on Fallon, and he said, so like
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi, yeah, that's right, was on, and he said something about like, oh, did you? He's like, what did you think of that? And he's like, be honest with you, I'm just really relieved. And he's like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? He's like, the never-ending story's gone now, and it's just
Couldn't
all
get
on
away
Max
from
that they're
me.
running
It's
up the
Max's
hill.
problem now.
My song, honestly, that might pull me back in, Barbie Girl by Aqua or Dr. Jones. I do love a good.
Dr. Jones is a good one. Dr. Jones, so Joe does Quizzo, as you guys know, because we call him Quizzo Joe on the show. And the one, he does like music questions, and you have to name the artist. And Dr. Jones came on the one day, and like literally 3 notes in, I was like, it's Aqua.
Yeah, I
And
love
knew it
Aqua.
right away, and everybody at my table was like,
Me and you are like the
how
only two
fuck did you
people
figure
I
that
know
out?
that
So-
like Aqua.
Just side story, side quest. When I was growing up, the N64, which is the oldest statement I think I've ever said on this show. When we used to use a landline and call people to see if they could come out and play. But our N64 in our house was in my sister's room because she had a TV in her room, and me and my brother shared a room, and we didn't have a TV. So if we wanted to play N64, we had to sit in my sister's room, who was the oldest. And in order to, like, the agreement was that she could put on whatever music she wanted to. So whenever I hear any Aqua song, I immediately get, like, a flashback to a different Diddy Kong Racing course. Because that's what we used to play and have to listen to Aqua while we were playing it.
So I have a good one. You name yours, and then you name what you think.
What, you
everybody
think somebody else's would be?
Favorite song or
No, like
If you if you
It's most embarrassing.
go up in the air right now and I don't know what to play, what are you putting on to try to help?
all right. No, but I thought you were saying.
No, I want
like,
to say
it-
not your actual song. Your most embarrassing
Well, your
song
most
where it
embar-
might actually pull you out.
You're most embarrassing, but also what would you use to get somebody else?
What
Okay.
like what would you get to get me out? So for example,
Brandy.
That's fuck that.
Brandy would
That
work.
definitely work.
What, like the boy's mind? Brandy?
Nah,
No.
like Brandy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
going
a
like
fine girl.
All right.
All right, so I said Aqua.
The Highway to the Danger Zone would get you out.
Fuck.
Rolling Stones would probably get Shanks out.
It is.
So I would probably say. So I said mine, so I'm gonna do Bob, and I feel like maybe Grease Lightning. Could Grease Lightning pull
No,
you
it would
out?
not get me out
No?
whatsoever.
Feel like
Like I'm just trying to think of something embarrassing that I know.
An embarrassing
But
song
also,
for
me
Bob?
and you were like not. I'm not embarrassed by what I.
No,
listen
I don't
to.
care. That's what I'm saying. Don't worry. For the person that you're like
I look like
pulling
Ben.
out, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Right? What are you putting on my headphones to get me out? So I don't care if it's embarrassing, not embarrassing. What's the song?
I want to be Bob Dylan.
Mr.
Counting
Jones by
Mr.
Counting
Jones.
Crows.
That's
That might work.
100%,
That might work.
100%.
scenes from an Italian restaurant.
That would work. And then I think like if I had, I think Tiffany, I think We're Alone Now would probably pull me out.
Yeah, I love
that's
that
a good one.
fucking
That was
song.
I think
That was
would
one of the
pull
ones
me
I
out.
sent Shanks. I was looking at the
Yeah.
links.
And I'm
That's
not
100%.
embarrassed by that.
I
That's
will-
like one of my
well,
favorite
that's
songs
a
of all
fucking
time.
fantastic song.
So to be honest, wait, I want to hear what you guys want to say first. Because
so
I have an
I think
embarrassing
We're
one.
Alone Now is something
That's
that
a
I've
good
turned
one.
my wife. My wife didn't like that song.
I love that song.
I've
Promise
Umbrella-
by When in Rome
I don't know
would
that
probably,
song.
yeah, you do. If you hear it, you do. That
Um,
would probably get me out.
The Umbrella Academy is what brought that
it
song
back.
back for me.
So when did the Umbrella Academy start? 5 years ago?
2019,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's only been 3 years.
Mhm.
They do
Or
one
2018.
2018 because of COVID,
It was
right?
18, 19, and then 22. Yeah.
So,
2 years. Or
The Umbrella
19, 20,
Academy,
19, 20,
it plays the one episode. I'm like, this fucking song's a banger. This Oh Sherry, Steve Perry would also work as well. Same reason, it's just a banger, right?
You know what? That cover of that
But-
one song would work too.
I think since it came back on, like since it was on the Umbrella Academy, and I was like, oh, I want to listen to that, and I put it on my iTunes.
Oh, totally.
I usually will just listen to recently played.
Yep.
I don't think that's left my recently played
Same.
list in the last 5 years.
Well, then
4 years.
Billy Joe Armstrong covered it too. So
I think We're Alone Now.
yeah, so he did that. That
I'm
thing
good.
you do.
I don't need.
That's like, hey, you ever hear that Panic at the Disco
Yeah.
cover
Oh my
of
God.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
hey, fuck
wait,
off.
wait. So if I'm
Oh no, it's not the same
Yeah.
level as bad as that.
if I'm getting attacked by Vecna and I start hearing Panic at the Disco's Bohemian Rhapsody, I
Take
get
it
my
back,
Vecna
going
towards
fucking
Vecna.
pull him out, bud.
Vecna, here's my arm, bro.
Snap it, break it, Peppy.
All I meant was that in terms of the original one, the Billy Joe Armstrong, because I love Green Day, was also in shuffle.
It's
a lot.
okay.
It's not as good. It's nowhere near as good, but that's a great song. I fucking love that.
That's my like. If I had needed to, I think that's the one that
So
would get
Shanks,
me out.
what's pulling you out?
Embarrassing.
Oh, embarrassing.
For you, embarrassing, and then
Do you guys want to guess, or am I just gonna?
No,
straight up
just
say?
no.
nah,
say,
what's
say.
yours?
I pulled some Jessica Simpson. I think I'm in love
I
with
think
you.
I'm in love with you. That
Dude.
played at practice the other
Dude,
day.
it's
and
Jack
it's
and
a banger,
Diane.
dude.
It's Jack and Diane, but it's like,
It's a great song.
yeah, it's the girliest version of it.
I've been doing practices over the summer, and just to have music on, I'll ask one of the kids and be like, "Hey, what year were you born?" And then I put that year's top hits on the speaker, and whatever year it was, that was one on the top hits playlist.
And you're like,
and
oh.
it came in, and I like,
You're like,
the
"Fuck, I kinda
trainer.
like it."
The trainer's like a little bit younger than me. He's a good dude though, and he like looks at me, and I'm like, "This song fucking rocks, man. I don't know why. You want me to skip it? Because I'm not skipping it."
What are you looking at?
One more that could probably pull me out that might be embarrassing is "Coming Clean" by Hilary Duff. 100%. Let the rain fall
Yeah.
down.
Oh, shit.
Make
Yeah.
my dreams. And
I'm
also,
trying to think of
also
one
the
for
Liz-
Shane.
the
I don't
Lizzie
know what-
McGuire.
Wait, isn't that the
Shane,
only
if you
song
got
by
that
Hilary Duff?
Vecna, I'm not confident I could pull you out.
I've got a good one. I'm not even embarrassed by it, to be
You
honest.
shouldn't be.
No,
What
there's
do you
no reason
fucking
to be
like?
embarrassed.
One of the best sports movies of all time, The Replacements.
Yeah.
when they're in the jail.
I will survive.
They
will
start thinking,
survive.
"I will survive."
I would have
Pull you
never.
right the fuck out.
You would have been
Alright.
dead. I would never.
Fucking love
Nah.
that song.
Never. Have
So
guessed
what
that
would
for
you have guessed for
Or-
Shane? Because now I'm trying.
Or Lady A, Need You Now.
Chicago classic.
100% Mr. Brightside. Would have pulled him right out.
That's true.
Mr. Brightside.
true.
Okay.
Shane has taken the mic from somebody karaokeing to Mr.
Yeah.
Brightside because he
And then
needed to sing
and then
the words.
upstaged her.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
did.
she sucked. I wasn't there, but based on this story, I think she
The
sucked.
6 people in the crowd loved me.
That's
What
his
else?
song. That's 100%.
I've been
what
in Shane's car, but it's a lot of like Foo Fighters, Ex-Ambassadors,
Kaleo.
Mumford, yeah. So I'm like, but none of those are like the song that would like.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think like what you listen to though.
Wrecking Ball. Could that pull you out?
that would pull you out.
The Climb. I know Miley's doing it.
Now you're
Partying,
seven
dude.
things I hate about you.
100%.
Some-
It used to be on my PSP. That was one of the songs that was on my PSP.
Maybe,
You can put songs on your PSP.
But I know I talked about N64 earlier, and somehow your PSP's worse than that.
The most failed PlayStation system.
it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was.
Ahead of its time.
I
had
fucking,
a PSP.
I
It was
do,
fucking sweet.
I do like that fucking song.
I know you do.
Maybe some Kelly. Doesn't kill you, make you stronger. Pull me right out. That's a
Yeah,
jam.
I feel like you would be like
That's a
Jesus
jam.
take the wheel kind of person. I feel like you secretly like country music and you're afraid to tell us.
I feel like your song needs to be like more
like a
like
banger.
faster than Jesus Take the Wheel though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Run Up the Hill's not fast.
But it's got that like driving beat.
I mean, my
True.
Boom, 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 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like the drums in that are like a little more.
But then it's like, but I'm not gonna sing the song. You guys don't
Just
know
sing,
how it goes.
sing. I don't remember.
Took the Louisville Slugger. Also, love song by Taylor Swift. Could
I
work.
Red by Taylor Swift. I think would get
Yeah.
me out. Red's,
You like
Red's
you
my
like
favorite
Taylor Swift. That could
song.
probably get you
no,
something.
I'm forced to listen to Taylor Swift.
I
Nothing
call
from
bullshit
nothing
because
from
you
folklore.
said the Taylor thing fucks. Like you liked her new album.
Yeah, I like the new albums. They do fuck.
Yeah,
No,
they
it was
fuck.
like the whatever.
Nothing from the new albums would pull me up.
I don't know.
They're good songs, but I don't think
Um,
they pull me out.
I don't know about Shanks. You don't really like
Shanks,
the
like,
same sort
I
of
don't
music
anything,
that I do.
basically.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
You
look
do.
at.
You're not picky.
I'm just
Nah,
gonna
I don't
look
care.
at all the ones me and Shanks sent back and forth now.
So,
'cause
I
they're all
had
a
pretty
bunch of
fu-
them,
They
yeah.
were all pretty
What's
fun.
What's the Rolling Stones song?
Give me shelter.
Give Me Shelter. I always think it's Sympathy for the Devil, but I know that it's not.
No.
But that's the one that jumps in my head, and I can never figure out what the other. What
So
I
the
still
ones
hate
me
the
and
Eagles.
Shanks sent back and forth, we did say a lot of them. I Will Survive.
That one I will say is embarrassing.
Gloria Gaynor.
Jessica Simpson, I think I'm in love.
Fat
Gloria
Bastard.
Gaynor,
Told you.
I think We're Alone Now. Tiffany, Nickelback, Photograph. I think Shanks said that to me.
You know what? You know what? Nickelback with the dude from Saliva, Hero from the Spider-Man soundtrack
yeah.
might pull me out.
Shanks also sent me
Watch it up.
Britney Spears, Baby One More Time. I sent Shanks
one.
Natasha Bedingfield Unwritten.
Great
That's a
song.
right
good
out.
one.
Pocket Full of Sunshine. Good one.
1,000 Miles would probably
yeah,
pull me out.
yeah. What's 1,000 Years too by Christina Perri? I like that song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There was one more.
She's from
What a world
she's
where
from
you
here.
had to have cassettes. You know, I wish we could go back.
I
to
used
that.
to have cassettes.
But I'm saying,
I used to tape for myself
On your
and then-
boombox?
Yeah,
I
my
used to do
sister's
that, too.
boombox and tape the
How many
songs.
batteries do you think they just had on like
on hand.
command? Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
know.
mean,
Oh my
how
God.
many batteries? It's probably the same amount of batteries that Star-Lord had.
Battery
right?
sales used to crush back then.
But I'm just saying for Max to make sure that tape
Oh,
recorder
yeah.
can
I'd say
play at all times.
the amount of battery Star-Lord had because he was in a dire situation because once he ran out, he was done.
Yeah, true.
So they probably the same.
Yeah.
He's got a
coaxium.
spaceship. Like
No,
he
but
can
they
travel across galaxies. How could he not figure out how to charge his walkie?
Could
They
you
make- they
imagine
make
if Max
rechargeable
got killed by
batteries,
Vecna just because your fucking thing died?
Like it just.
though? Yeah.
What
and
if
then it broke out into an Energizer commercial.
What if she tripped and dropped it and the fucking cassette just broke?
Yeah.
She's like, oh shit.
All right. Favorite theory for season 5. And
I
that's
only
how
know
long-
I
one.
only have the one.
I
right
like
now.
the one a lot.
The
So
one is my favorite. Pat actually sent that.
the
to me.
most common one is that in Dungeons and Dragons, Vecna is beaten.
You want
by,
me to read it out?
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead.
pull it
Go
off.
for it.
now, so
I have
it
my
doesn't
own,
ring out.
but
What's
We'll
yours?
wait till
Go,
it-
go,
well,
say
why that
yours.
happens. all right. So when they first roll the dice, remember how they try and beat Vecna during the board game? The first roll's an 11.
No, the first.
Yeah, like
It's a
so,
Demogorgon.
so
game. It's a Demogorgon.
no, no,
game,
no. I
first
mean
one.
with this season.
Oh, okay, okay.
So this season they Dustin rolls the dice and it's an 11, meaning 11,
Yeah,
and
I caught that.
it's
yeah.
a miss. So the second one's 20.
Oh, when they play.
So the second roll
Which
that
is a
Erica
critical
rolls
hit.
is a 20. So I'm still trying to like work out how I think it works.
Maybe they bring. Oh,
But
no,
that's why I thought they
that's
brought back
19.
11 and 8,
But
which is
that's
19.
19.
But then I'm
And
thinking,
then
Won.
you will
He's
the
won.
what? And he's won. But how do you bring him to defeat? I don't know. Like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. But everything has always been.
I don't think
They
eight comes
lay
back,
they lay it
though.
out for you. There's
I don't
so
I
many
don't think
things.
it comes back either.
I don't know. But that's.
I mean, it would be
that's
I
cool.
would
my
like
thinking.
it, but I don't think.
Yeah, I
All-
know. But then it's
every-
like, how do you do it?
Everything
'Cause
means something in Stranger
That's
Things.
why I'm.
It's almost as, and she also said like she's not coming back. Basically, like in that episode, like she's not going to go back to the lab. She's doing her own life type shit.
Yeah.
Because 11's like, come help me. Like we need to save people, and she basically says like, no, I'm not going to do it. But like, it's almost like when we talk about like the Avengers and shit, like.
When you need it, just show
She
up.
sees on the news that this fucking town is just being devastated. She's choosing not to show up. So like I don't know. I just think I think the Duffer Brothers kind of went off of the fan reaction to her and
They did, yeah.
just wrote her kind of out of everything.
Go to the theory.
So the theory is that Eddie doesn't like this, Chrissy. Chrissy, wake up!
Like this.
All right, so this is
Apologize to all your eardrums.
yeah.
for that
Sorry
one.
about that. That was really loud. So this is
Great. It's back in my fucking head again. It's been out.
I
It's been
had
out
to get
for
it.
an hour.
I had
now
to
it's
get it back
in
in.
there.
So it says, so as everyone knows, the creatures in the Upside Down are portrayed as characters in Dungeons and Dragons, and the description of these creatures in the Upside Down are pretty accurate to the creatures in D&D. Eddie is not dead. The Duffer Brothers have said that you cannot die from the bite of a bat. Yes, you can eventually bleed out, but the bite alone will not kill you. I have this theory that Eddie will become Cass, I don't know how to, Kas, the vampire. He is another creature of D&D. Cass is the right-hand man to Vecna. Cass eventually turns on Vecna and defeats him. Cass is a significant weapon, his sword as well as shield with spikes on it, just like Eddie's trash can shield with nails in it. He also had a
Oh,
long
shit.
tree branch with a knife tied to the end, using it as a sword.
I didn't realize the shield thing.
I think that Eddie may still be alive and that he will come back as the vampire Cass
And to kill Vecna.
and kill Vecna.
Which,
Two, with
that would be awesome.
Vecna disappearing. Vecna apparently the only thing that survives is his eye and his left hand or something. I don't know that ties into it.
For what? Like
For
For D&D, like Vecna's
I
character.
didn't know that.
So
no.
Vecna's character, like in D&D.
Oh, when they play the game?
No, just in general.
Ah.
Just like for Dungeons and Dragons as a thing. They the only thing that survives the first time he dies is his eye and his left hand, I think, something like that. So it makes me think that that's what survives when he gets killed, basically from the Michael Myers getting shot out the window kind of thing.
But
and
his
disappear.
whole body was gone though.
Yeah, I know.
So
But I mean, like
think
maybe
he's
it's the only
just-
thing. I don't know.
he's alive.
Yeah, I don't know.
So last thing, because it's just reminded me, the Vecna thing reminded me of this.
But also, one more thing too about Eddie is that he's got bat tattoos on him too. So people were like, kind of alluding to
Yeah.
that, the bats and the vampire. But go ahead.
What was your favorite '80s movie callback, like Easter egg acknowledgement
Star
this
Wars.
season?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Never tell me the
For sure.
odds.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street was very cool.
There were a
but
lot of
never-
Star Wars,
Never
like,
tell me the
comparisons.
odds.
There's a good Star Wars one when they break into the bunker.
Yeah,
that
Duke-
was
our friend
very
Duke
Duke
was
like
just
that.
telling us.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. When
I
it
would
was
say
happening.
probably that though. Probably
11.
Star Wars.
Dustin,
Never, never tell me the
Dustin,
odds.
yeah.
100%.
11 lifts Nina like it's the X-wing.
Like,
there's a
any-
lot of
her lifting anything.
Like he's on
is
Yeah, I
like
know,
the
but
Like
like,
he's on
and then
Dagobah?
then Vecna making her watch, like the Emperor made
Dagobah.
Luke
Yeah.
watch everything.
And they were
Yeah,
in a
he leaves.
desert. Yeah, it did remind me of Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to put one F word in the season, where would you have put it?
Didn't they do it?
Chrissy, wake up!
Chrissy, fucking
I
wake
don't
up!
fucking like this.
I
That's
thought
like
they
the new-
used. I thought they did use fuck.
I think they probably did.
But probably Chrissy wake the fuck up. All right. Well, I think
Or Victor Creel saying it. That would have been good.
also that Eddie thing. If that doesn't, it's just kind of become like a Marvel multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Where if that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be a little upset.
People
Well,
are
now
gonna
it
get
might be
upset.
like-
he could just be dead though.
Yeah, no, he can be dead. He'd be
So,
dead. People
but
gotta
now
die.
it could be like No Way Home, where so many fans are talking about it, where they're like, "All right, I guess we have to include this."
I just like him so much.
My
That's
current-
what
my
sucks.
F word goes. Nobody pauses fast times at that time.
That was such a great moment
She
too.
fucking likes boobies.
Yeah, but they because I knew exactly what they were talking about
Yeah.
because it's the iconic scene. But Shanks, thanks for joining us, man. Anything to plug or tell people to watch before
Your
we go?
butt.
I can't, yeah, I can't wait for the next 2 years when the next one finally comes
Yeah.
out.
And then you'll be back.
My God.
You're on a 2-year track.
Jesus, Shanks, you'll be like 40 by then.
It's getting there.
Holy shit.
The only thing I have to plug is go watch what's out there. Stranger Things, Boys,
Umbrella
Miss
Academy.
Marvel, The Umbrella Academy. Go watch all that shit.
Only
Go
Murders
get-
in the building.
Only
Don't,
Murders-
If you don't have a Switch, go get one and then get Mario Strikers.
and then
At
come
us.
play us because we're a dynamite team.
That's what we're about to do, Dynasty team here. But remember to rate, like, and subscribe. Check out our T Public store in the show notes.
I'm currently wearing a I'm a Little Burger Boy shirt.
You are. It looks
comfortable.
very good. It
It's a
looks
sweet
very,
shirt.
very good. And yeah, I guess.
Comment your embarrassing
Yeah,
songs.
give us your Vecna song.
Give us your Vecna song. I'll post something.
I know this is like a TikTok thing too, but give us your Vecna
Yeah,
song.
fuck
we
it.
care.
Who cares?
Oh my God, you
We
guys have
care.
hats on here?
Yeah, we got it, dude. I went on.
Everything.
And
What was I trying? I was gonna try and buy something.
Oh,
but we didn't have it.
Shanks is on the T Public store. We got hats. We got phone cases. Laptop cases. We got crew necks. We got T-shirts. We got baseball tees.
We do have I'm
Everything
bringing
you want,
baseball
Shanks.
tees back.
we got it all back, baby.
I was gonna get a Hellfire Club one, but you can't.
You can't.
There's just fucking. You can't buy one. They're all out of stock everywhere. And
Oh,
if they're out of stock, that means that I don't want one.
You know, well,
'Cause I don't want to be like everybody else.
Everybody has a Hellfire shirt. Nobody has a little Burger
Nobody
Boy
is
shirt.
a Little Burger Boy.
one person does, and it looks good.
I'm here. Yeah.
It looks good.
You can get it in different colors. I went with the green and white.
It's a nice pairing.
Yeah, because the Burger Boy has.
Now
that
that I
green
see
hat
it
on.
in person, I'm pretty upset I didn't get a Burger Boy crew neck.
Well, there's more, Shane.
But
The hat looks awful.
the hat does not look that. Maybe I was going on to get a hat. It
Yeah,
just didn't
it
look
did
good.
I
look
do
good.
have a previously recorded Star Wars crew neck, which is now limited edition because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, if they had snapbacks, then we get a snapback. And then go check out Blockbuster Summer over at the Gateway Gamers. But I think that does it
And
for
if you
all of
live
us
near
now.
Blockbuster, go check them out too, because they're
There's
just
one
trying to
left.
survive.
They are.
Can we plug Comixology? Because it fucks.
We can plug. No, we're gonna plug your local comic book store, like Capes and Cows if you're in the Philadelphia area, or
Or if you're not, then you can just use Comixology.
then you can just use Comixology. But that does it for all of us here. Thank you guys for joining me. I love you all, and we love you. And stay safe and stay out of the upside down. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this! Chrissy, wake up! Hey, hello? Time to wake up, time to wake up. Can you hear me? Wake up, Chrissy! I don't like this! Chrissy, wake up!
Didn't mean to scare you. You okay? Give me the word, I'll just walk away.
Do you ever feel like you're losing your mind?
On a daily basis.
All the time.
You know, this isn't the first time we've met.
Corroded coffin, how could I forget?
I don't know, Chrissy, you're a freak.
You know, you're not what I thought you'd be. Eddie, did you find anything?
Peaceful bliss, just moments away. Chrissy.
Chrissy, wake up!